Hey guys. Hey Dave. Glad you made it back to the stream. I definitely fell asleep for a minute. I was like, fuck. Y'all don't let me get away with shit. Always talking about it. Something crazy. Oh, my heat popped on. I'm so ready to bask in the warmth. It turned into a sleep stream. No, it for sure did. Eric would be so mad at me right now. He'd be like, babe, end the stream. End the stream. I be doing that sometimes. I just be dozing off for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm good to go. Little cat naps here and there, you know? I hope everybody's having a lovely night. Make sure to hit that like button while you're here. It helps you girls so much. I love this brush. Look how it makes my hair look. Like, it just looks so good. It doesn't make it frizzy. It just brushes it and does a good job. There we go. What's up, Fasan? Your green hair looks sexy. I mean, thanks. You have a pet cat? What's his name? I have a pet cat named Arco, but I call him Salem. Oh, that's so cute. I have a cat. Her name is Hazley. I don't see her right now, or I'd go get her for you. She's a sweet girl. God damn. Deadass. Just cut my life into pieces, because this is my last resort. Ew, we don't talk about our age in chat. Hey, Kishan. Good to see you. Yeah, it is. Hi, Kishan. Do not spam the chat. Okay, you'll be kicked, Kishan. I love the little peep flag. Oh, thank you. Yes. It's my, my little setup. Hi, Pyro. How are you? Yeah, no spamming is part of the rules here. We don't be doing all that spam shit. Thank you, Axe. I appreciate you. I wish Eric was here. He'd be like, pin me, pin me, pin me. I miss him so much, guys. It, like, actually hurts. It's a problem. Like, actually an issue. Because I don't know what to do. I just feel lost in what to do. Pin me, 1, 2, 3. I did pin you. Like, you got 7 minutes. I miss that shit so bad. Oh well, he'll be back before we know it, guys. It might be a bit, but we can handle it till then, right? Well, we can hold it down. Shit. I did. I won the match. My eyes look the color of my hair. I like the look of that. That looks cool. Eric would be talking about how sexy my ear is. Bye, Fasan. What's up, Santiago? We gotta find some true crime shit to watch, and we gotta smoke this blunt that I just rolled. Somebody was like, that must be some strong stuff. Okay. Christina, yay, you made it to this one. I'm so glad you're here. Hopefully you stick around for a bit. We do need more mods. Maybe I'll start modding some people. I was sleeping, I should be good. My house has been playing yo-yo with the flu. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry to hear that, Christina. That's no good. Oh, fuck. That's bad. And when there's more people, it spreads worse. Qualifications for being a mod. Be here. Like, every stream. Almost every stream. Preferably every stream. I just be good. Do not troll. Shit like that, you feel. There's, like, a good bit of things. I'm like, talking on the phone with my... every damn stream. Yeah, dog. I need people here dancing. I'm lacking so many mods, and now Eric's not here, and he was here. I just need people right now. Oh, fuck. I dropped my vape, but I caught it. You just joined 5 months ago. Yeah, see, there's no way I could have that many mods. Christina, you do great. You're here, like, every stream almost. Like, you actually do an amazing job. And you do great. You're a great mod. I'll think about it, Dave. Just keep showing up and I'll think about it. Where did I put my blunt, guys? Oh, there it is. I was like, fuck, here we go. I do have Facebook, but I'm not giving it out here. I don't do all that. You're welcome, Christina. If you guys want, you can join the Discord, and that's like the closest y'all get. Alright, let's find a video first before. Speaking of true crime shows, what do you recommend? Zav Girl, I recommend Rotten Mango. There's a few people I recommend. I think Rotten Mango uploaded a new video today. Saving Kanye from being robbed? Damn. Man. Okay, guys. Okay, so you guys are still here. Good. Glad you guys are here. Let's smoke. Let's find a video and smoke. Yeah. I did. That's what happens. I've been hella stressed. I'm good, yeah. I've been hella stressed, tired, just, yeah. I'm always good. Alright, so I was thinking about... Christina, are you still here, girl? Okay, good. Fuck. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Hi, Nick. Ugh, you guys. You guys, I am struggling. This shit's been getting more and more difficult. This is one hair. What the fuck? Come on. I don't like that. That's not cute. There we go. You guys put up with me so well. We better find a video we're gonna watch. That's good. Hold on. There was one I saw earlier I wanted to do. What the fuck? Babysitter returns dead baby back to mom, then can't stop smiling during interrogation. So that's what we're gonna listen to. How long have you been streaming, Ashley? About a year, almost. This stream, it's been a couple hours. It's been like 3 hours, 4 hours altogether today. Oh, my sound isn't.
So right when the sisters...
Okay, here we go.
Bada bing, bada boom. Two sisters walk into one of those coin laundry mats with the washing machines all lined up on the side wall. It's October in Wisconsin at around 9 p.m. So both the sisters, Heather and Jessie, they're walking in wearing winter coats. They've got Heather's 2 kids with them, a boy toddler and a little 11-week-old baby, baby Benson. So right when the sisters walk in, these sisters, they're on a mission. They already had the dryer, they have clothes in the dryer that they have to take out and fold. I mean, it's a whole system that they've got going on. Jessie is holding on to her little nephew, the toddler. She's swinging him around carefully, trying to cheer him up, while baby Benson is deep in his sleep in the car seat. It's a little bit cold, it's a little bit gloomy outside, and they're doing chores. It's not the most fun activity, but everyone's trying to have a good time. Until everything changes. Jessie, the sister, and the aunt to the babies, she stops folding the clothes and she just takes a moment to lean over and peer into baby Benson's car seat, where he's been asleep the whole car ride to the laundromat. He's been asleep since they got here a few minutes ago. She looks at him closely and she pauses for a second. Wait, he looks... Heather, why are his lips so blue? Heather, come look. Heather, the mom, walks over, and not only are her son, baby Benson's lips blue, they look strangely like they're stuck together, like someone put super glue and pressed his lips together. They look dry. and his whole face is this pale, ghostly color. She picks him out of the car seat, and he's cold. He's cold. He's completely ice cold to the touch. There's CCTV footage of this, and Jessie is running to pick up her older nephew, the toddler, into her arms.
Oh my
her
God.
phone is already up to her ear. She's calling 911. Heather is seen on the cameras, quieter, but she looks hyper-focused on performing chest compressions on her baby boy. 911, what's your emergency? Please, God, this baby is dead. Please, we're at the laundromat on the corner of 3rd and Union. Please. Where are you? It's a laundromat. I don't know the name of it, but I have another child in my arms, and my sister's baby is dead. We need you to start CPR on that baby. We don't know how. We don't know how. Is he on his back? We have him on his back. I need you to tip his head back. He's freezing cold. He's freezing. Tip his head back, Heather. Tip his head back. You can see Jessie holding the toddler in her arms. He's crying. He's starting to freak out. Heather, again, is hyper-focused on the chest compressions and trying to figure out how to do CPR. Now, initially, during this phone conversation, Heather sounds determined. She sounds like she has nothing else on her mind but these chest compressions. But halfway through, you start hearing her voice start to shake. And while she keeps pushing down on her baby's chest, she says, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. He's already freezing cold.
He's doing compressions till he gets inside, okay? I can't do this.
Heather starts crying, and the 911 operator keeps telling her, keep doing the compressions. The ambulances are on their way. Keep doing the compressions. They're on their way. But it's no use. Baby Benson is already dead. He was already dead when they pulled him out of the car seat and called 911. And he was already dead when they walked into the laundromat.
Damn.
In fact, he had
Can
been
you
dead
believe
for
that?
multiple hours. Which
This
begs
sounds
the
like an
question,
AI-generated story.
when
No,
did he
it's
die?
real.
How did he die? And why did nobody notice?
It's the girl who does it. Her channel's Rotten Mango.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. They are a volunteer-based and provide free medical care and humanitarian aid to thousands of injured, abused, and abandoned children. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we would also like to thank our listeners for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates.
Anyways,
As
that's
always,
what she
full
looks
show notes
like.
are available at RottenMangoPodcast.com. Some of the more intense themes in today's episode include mentions of CA and CA resulting in death, particularly around the infant age. If that is too much for you today, please take it easy, go rest, and I will see you in the next one. With that being said, let's get into it. There is a woman named Marissa, and she's got a lot of boyfriends. That's her thing. She is the queen of time efficiency. I mean, she's so good at this. She will take a letter that one of her boyfriends sends her with multiple pages of graphic fantasies of what he wants to do to her when he sees her again and how they're gonna make love. And she will take that letter, read it fully through, change the POV, rewrite it in her handwriting with the same plot, the same fantasy, and send it to boyfriend number 2, making it appear like this was her fantasy that she
Hi,
has of him.
Paul.
Wait, so boyfriend writes a fantasy that he wants to do to her.
Boyfriend 1 writes her a fantasy that he wants to do to her. So he's like, I want to hug you. She changes the POV.
Like, I want to be hugged
by you, and sends it to boyfriend number 2. Exactly. I mean, for her, it's just, if she finds someone that she has the same interest in, if she finds someone that has the same values she has, I mean, it's hard to give them up. Even when she has like 10 boyfriends lined up, she wants to keep each and every one of them. Her firm dating requirements are, they better like kids. That is a deal breaker for her. If you don't like kids, if you don't want kids, she's not going to be with you. She already has 5 kids. She's pregnant with her 6th kid. And she still has plans to have at least 2, 3 more kids.
Wow.
She writes to one boyfriend, you only have 1 kid. You know, that's cool. You don't want any more kids? That's not cool. Because I want more kids. I mean, just saying, so we might not work out then. And the second dating requirement is they can't take everything they see on the news too seriously. It's very annoying when someone can't understand that there is fake news being spread on mainstream media news outlets and even social media. You can't just have a boyfriend who sits there and parrots what he hears on the news without thinking about all the biases that are involved. I mean, really, she hates the news. She writes to one of her boyfriends about her whole life, and she says, I want to move out of town and just be with you and me, like we always do. We can work, watch movies, have family time, cuddle, sleep together, and sleep together some more. She says, okay, miss you and your private parts so much. I mean,
Oh my
I haven't shaved
God.
since I got here. It's not cool at all. I have lots of hair everywhere, but I want to F you so bad right now. I miss you. Ugh, we're gonna F right away when we get home. I don't care how hairy I'm gonna be either. Anyway, I love being a mom. I love kids so, so much. I love them so dearly. Truly, kids are everything to me. And the news, they want to say that I'm a monster to babies. It's unbelievable. Like, I can't really believe these people. The news makes me look like I'm some monster and that I kill babies. It makes me mad because I'm not a killer and I love babies. I love kids, etc., etc. I'm a good mom. Like, what the was an accident. I was frustrated. Just a mistake that happened, and it sucks, and I was frustrated and scared, and I did take on a lot of responsibility, but I love kids, and I'm not a killer, and I'm still your good girl, always. I would never
Jesus
beat a baby.
Christ.
Hell no. I love kids so much. Marissa hands that letter over to the prison guards. It's just not fair. It's just one kid. And the other two? Well, those were accidents too, you know?
What?
A few hours before baby Benson was found deceased at the laundromat, a couple is
Wow.
seen walking into McDonald's with the same kids. The toddler from the laundromat, but this time 2 little infants in their own car seats. So they have a toddler, and instead of just one car seat, they have an additional car seat. So 3 kids.
3 kids. One's walking, the other 2 are in the car seat.
Yes. They walk over to the counter, they order their meal, they find a seat almost out of view from the CCTV cameras, and they sit down and eat. Within 15-20 minutes, they're done with their meal and they head back out to their car. At this point, one of the 5 people, the couple and the 3 kids, one of them was a killer, and they had just brought their already murdered victim to McDonald's to eat
No way.
one last meal. Detective Holtz arrives to the laundromat. There's only 2
Ew, that's
customers
terrible.
inside. One woman at the door screaming at the cop cars to hurry and help. Hurry, please come in. The police rush in and they see another woman doing chest compressions on an infant laying on the table. It's not looking good. The officers get closer. The baby's skin color looks like ash. The area around his lips are completely blue. And the officers take over to begin the CPR, but this is the odd part. So the first thing that they need to do is check the baby's airways to see if there's something obstructing his breathing, aka did he choke on something. But when they try to get his mouth open to look inside his throat, his jaw is locked. It's completely clenched. They can't even get it open to see inside of his mouth. That fact, combined with the fact that his body is ice cold, it's likely that rigor mortis has already set in. Baby Benson likely died at least 2 hours ago. Side note, another detail the police noted was when baby Benson was laying on the laundromat table, his legs were not falling onto the table because they were bent, like he was still inside the car seat. Rigor mortis, again, had set in. They're not falling to the table from the gravity.
They picked the baby out of the car seat and lay it on the table,
The mom did.
but the baby's still fixed in that seating position.
Yes, the legs are still bent. What is going on? I mean, obviously authorities have to run through all the theories. Is it sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS? The possibilities have to be checked off. Did this baby die from a cold? Was it already a sick baby? Previous illnesses? They also have to confirm with the hospitals and the mom, but baby Benson was in the NICU maybe once for a high fever, but that was right when he was born. He's been a very healthy baby since then.
How old is the baby once again?
11 weeks old.
Whoa. That's not even 3 months.
Exactly. Of course it could always be the mom. Because the baby is only 3 months old, it could be postpartum depression. The police do have to think about that, but the mom does seem very open to being investigated. She's handing over her car keys, her diaper bag, her phone, literally whatever the police want, she's giving it to them, no questions asked. Heather and Jesse, the sisters, they already have an idea of what happened to baby Benson, and they're ready to share it with the investigators, or at least what they think or who happened to him. They are certain that the babysitter did this. I mean, it has to be the babysitter.
Please go to that babysitter's house. She has another child there. And he was like delusional when we picked him up. He could not even open his eyes. First name, please. What exactly happened?
The police are confused. What do you mean? Why do you think it's the babysitter? I mean, her face was beet red when we went to pick the kids up. She was sweating. She looked scared. The sisters explain, usually when we pick up the kids, the babysitter never has the boys ready. So we go inside, we take our time, we get them ready, we get them changed into their car seats. Heather always helps. This time, the babysitter is waiting at the door with the kids. She doesn't even really turn on her porch light. The whole entrance to the house is dark. It's dim. Whether her porch light is barely on or it's off, they don't even know. Basically, she's rushing them out in the dark, practically pushing them out the door. She's not even letting them inside. The sisters were maybe standing in the doorway for about 2 seconds. They briefly point out what appeared to be a hickey on the babysitter's neck. Heather states she did not see this hickey when she dropped off her kids. So this is very alarming because you're supposed to be babysitting. Why do you have a new hickey? But the babysitter just made a joke as a response and then rushed them out. So when that door shut, they're gone. They're out there. It was so quick. But again, her face was, quote, beet red. I'm not even kidding you. Both the sisters remember thinking at that point, Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on? It was just so unusual. And this was like 20 minutes ago.
So when they saw her face as beet red, are they assuming that she's nervous red, or was she like, they think she's like exercising red, or
Nervous, like she's on something. That's how they describe her. They did notice that Benson had his hat pulled down over his eyes. He was asleep in the car seat. They didn't want to wake him up. I mean, Heather, as lightly as she can when placing him into the car, she lightly, so gently, pulls the hat up to uncover his eyes, just because she's worried he's going to wake up from his nap and start freaking out if he can't see anything suddenly. They put him in the car. They drive to the laundromat. They gently take the kids out, and they start moving the clothes to the dryer. It's not until maybe a few minutes in that they went to check on him and they realize that his body is ice cold. Heather starts realizing what all of this means, and she starts losing control of her emotions, which nobody would blame her for, but she has been doing an incredible job so far at keeping her emotions at bay to answer all the investigators' questions, and it's starting to crack. I just picked him up from the babysitter. Is he dead? Please, don't tell me he's dead. The police are quiet.
She
That girl
does.
just killed my baby. I picked him up from the babysitter. I came back to get my clothes and I took him out and he was cold and he's not moving and I gotta get my son out of here. I can't do this.
Oh no, these are the ambulance people. No, please no, it's their kid's not mine. That bitch! Somebody go arrest her now! Somebody kill that baby! No!
There was another problem on hand. Jessie, Heather's sister, tells the investigator, I sent a text to the babysitter on Heather's phone when all of this was happening, and I shouldn't have done it. I know I shouldn't have, but like I said, I was just so angry. I texted her, you killed my sister's baby. What did she say? She didn't say anything back. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have. I was just so angry. Can you tell that she read it? Was it like a Facebook message or a text message? A text. It doesn't even say if she read it. I'm sorry. No, it's all right. I was just angry, and I was on Heather's phone, and I saw her name, and I just couldn't not say it, you know? I'm sorry. And what did you say the name of the babysitter was? In that moment, if the police felt their hearts sink, they don't show it. They don't even skip a beat. But I'm sure on the inside, these officers, they're panicking. The babysitter's name is Marissa Tiasort. And the officers are quite familiar with her, and the fact that she's not allowed to be anywhere near any children.
Oh my
One
god.
officer turns to her partner far enough away from Heather and her sister.
Probably for a little while.
We need to do a CT scan.
Dancing,
to
this
make sure
video
he doesn't have a
itself
brain bleed.
is
That's her MO.
a little
This is the
less than an
third
hour
infant that's gotten
longer.
hurt in her care. She has been responsible for brain bleeds and skull fractures.
Wow.
Jen said Marissa has been responsible for child neglect on 4 different children, including skull fractures and stuff.
Why would you allow your child to
So
stay with
she
somebody
has
then?
previously killed 2 babies?
Injured.
Injured 2 babies.
Marissa, the babysitter, had done this before. The detectives drive up to the Plaza Hotel at 4 in the morning, so this is hours after the laundromat situation. I mean, I'm sure it's a nice hotel during the day, but at night, it's a little creepy. The hotel setup is kind of like the back rooms. You walk in, and in the middle, indoor, is a giant pool. Each hotel floor has a hallway with a railing that overlooks the pool in the center. So once you exit your room, I'm sure the smell of chlorine just hits your nostrils and you hear water splashing. It's a very interesting concept, and it's very creepy at 4 in the morning. But the police aren't here for the pool. They're here for Marissa and her long-term boyfriend, Adam. That's who's checked into room 214. The police start banging on
I
the
never
door.
get enough
Marissa,
sleep. I'm
we
sitting
know
here
you're in
dozing
here.
off
Open
now.
the
What the
door.
fuck
We're
you
not going away,
mean?
Marissa. Open the door. Marissa? The door
I
finally
never get
swings
enough
open, and
sleep.
it's Marissa's
I've been dealing
shirtless
with like
boyfriend,
severe
the
depression
father of
and
her children, Adam. He's
just a lot
standing
of
in the
shit
door, and
going
there are
on
at
at the
least
moment.
3 police officers
So
standing in front of him at 4 in the morning, and he looks more angry than confused. Good morning, Adam. Is Marissa here? What are you guys doing here? The officers walk into the room. They're scanning the walls, the counter surfaces, anything for any weapons, anything that could be used against them.
Wait, does the police know him too?
Yes.
The fact that they address him by first name,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
They spot a baby, maybe a month older than Benson, laying in a crib in the room. That's the couple's child. Adam, just cooperate with us, okay? We're gonna explain everything in a second.
Well, you already charged her. What the fuck?
Adam, stay here.
No, you guys are harassing the hell out of us.
At this point, Adam thinks
Right.
the police are here to talk about a previous charge that Marissa was charged with. Adam, stay here. No, you guys are harassing the hell out of us, and she already got charged. We'll be at court. Why you gotta come here? Well, because we need to talk to her about something new. Something new? Why are you guys here at this hotel? Because we wanted to get away. From what? Everything. Is it against the law to come stay at a hotel room for the night? In the body cam footage, you don't see Marissa in the room. You see Adam standing there shirtless. You see the other officers standing in the room, but you don't see Marissa. And that's because she's hidden from the view of the body cams.
yeah,
This
we
whole
gotta do
time
that
the
soon.
police have been
Dancing.
banging on the door. Adam has been screaming, "What are you doing here? You're harassing us." Marissa has not been seen on the body cam footage. The detective walks over, pulls the blanket back. Marissa, can you get up so that I can talk to you? Marissa has been pretending to be asleep this whole time.
In the room.
In the room.
It's a small room, right?
It's a hotel room.
Right.
It's
right.
just a bed. They're standing next to the bed. Adam is screaming at them.
Oh.
They've been banging on the door for 10 minutes. They're standing.
Oh my gosh,
literally
they're still
looking
at the
down
door.
Marissa, and she's
Fake
pretending
sleeping?
to be asleep. Marissa and Adam are separated to be questioned by the police because technically they are the last ones to see Benson alive. If anyone knows something, it's gonna be them.
Right, where would you like to talk?
You want right fucking here.
Okay.
As you can't tell, I'm a little pissed off. It's 4 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Yeah, I'd like to be sleeping too.
So what's going on?
Detective Holtz and Captain Graham take Marissa out into the hallway. Adam is in the hotel room with another officer.
Wait, I'm so sorry. So the police pull the blanket, say get up.
Yeah, she gets up.
She gets up.
Yeah.
Can you get up so I can talk to you?
She's like, oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Didn't know you guys are here.
Basically. Detective Holtz starts her line of questioning. I mean, she's pretty upfront about the situation, but see if you can spot all of the odd details of the interrogation. Marissa, this is a very important conversation we're about to have, okay? Tell me about taking care of him today. Oh, I was just watching him and he was fine. That was about it. Did you feed him? I fed him once and he slept. And then, well, we went outside when they got here first, a little bit because it was nice out. You and the kids. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he was dressed in what? He was dressed in a snowsuit. Basically one of those like gray fleece onesies to keep him warm. He was dressed in a snowsuit and a blanket. Okay, and then you were home alone, and then what time did Adam get home? He got home at like almost, I don't know, maybe 6:30 or something like that. Where was he at? He was hunting. Okay, and then what did you guys do after that, after Adam got home? We went out to eat after he got home. Where did you go? McDonald's? Which one? The one over by the courthouse? Inside or drive-through? We went inside. Okay, and how long did you stay there? I don't know, maybe 15 minutes tops. Okay, so you ate inside. Mm-hmm. We ate inside. You were able to finish your meal in 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, and then what happened? Did you come straight home after McDonald's? Mm-hmm. Only place you went outside the house was McDonald's. Mm-hmm. Then came straight home. Anything significant happen? Now, something interesting to note is that throughout this whole line of questioning, that's how it starts. It's a little weird that Marissa doesn't immediately ask, what's wrong with baby Benson? Why are the police questioning her at this hotel? When they initially take Marissa out into the hallway, they just tell her they're having an important conversation about baby Benson. She doesn't ask, is he okay? What happened? What's going on? Is everything all right? She's just like, he was fine when I was taking care of him, which is very odd.
I fed him once, and then he slept, and, well, we went outside when they first got there a little bit, so it was
You
outside.
and the kids.
Yeah.
So now she starts asking, what do you mean? So tell me about taking care of Benson today. Again, I was watching him and he was fine. Marissa has her arms crossed. Her lips are in this tight, thin line that they're pointing downwards. She's frowning. I personally try not to include too much body language theories and analysis in these videos because I personally don't feel like I know enough. But also I think it's just a very tricky area where sometimes subjects have medical conditions. They could genuinely be nervous from talking to authorities or have nervous body language. So with that being said, she looks so guilty. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. She just looks very odd.
Yeah, I mean, especially when we know
Yeah.
when someone is guilty,
And
and
she's
then
just-
you're looking at the way that they try to lie or cover it up. That's
Now, to be fair, body language experts have stated that arms crossed and thin, tight lips that are pointed downwards typically indicates that somebody is feeling heightened levels of discomfort and frustration in a situation. This is not a very normal response to hearing news like this.
Want
If you
something
are
a little
truly innocent
happier?
and you hear that a baby in
Maybe
your
after
care
this.
is now injured or something happened, you would not be uncomfortable and frustrated. You would be concerned, worried, anxious. Marissa responds, no, nothing significant happened. We came home after McDonald's. We put a movie in. Then, I don't know how long it was after, but Heather called and she's like, I'm putting my clothes in the dryer and I'll be there in 15 minutes. Yeah, so 15 minutes later, she came there. Okay, so did you get him ready or did she get him ready? Yeah, I had him ready. I left him in his car seat. Okay, how long had he been in his car seat? After McDonald's, it was maybe only like half an hour, 45 minutes maybe. It was right after McDonald's. I just left him in his car seat. You didn't take him out? No, because she usually comes around like 9 and he was sleeping, so... Another thing netizens have pointed out, please let me know if you caught this, are that her descriptions of the day are very vague. Usually people will have a lot more details to add, but it seems like she can barely remember what's going on. And there's only about 3 to 4 activities that she listed happen through the day. There's also no person or reaction in any activity. There's no, we went to McDonald's because the toddler was hungry. He kept saying he wanted chicken nuggets, so we went to McDonald's. You could almost replace anybody in these activities. The only part where there's a little bit of that is when Heather calls to tell her she's going to be picking up her kids in 15 minutes.
I'm putting my clothes in the dryer, and then I'll be there, and then, like, 15 minutes, she came there, so, okay.
The detective keeps going. He was awake the whole time? No, he was sleeping. When? The whole time. The whole time you babysat him? All of a sudden, Marissa's mouth turns all the way up and she smiles really big. It's a bit of a creepy smile. She's showing all of her
Yeah,
teeth
it's
and then
creepy.
she responds, and when she's talking, it's kind of like she can't wipe the smile off her face. But nothing warrants a smile here, other than the fact that she feels uncomfortable being caught in a weird situation where she basically lied about him being asleep. She smiled.
Seriously?
No, I mean like after he got there. He was up for like a couple hours and then I fed him and then I put him in the pack and play and then I had this little camera, like the video monitor. And then like I didn't check on him because I have that now, so like, yeah.
You awake the whole time?
No, he was sleeping.
When?
the whole time.
Did she smile or laugh?
It's weird. She just keeps smiling. I think she smiles when she lies or knows that she's been caught in a lie. I almost feel like it's her way of trying to appear innocent.
I see.
She's just zoning out, and the police ask her, "Are you okay?" And she smiles again and starts, "Yeah, I just have sleep deprivation."
And stuff, and then, Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just like, I have sleep.
The audio of this next part is redacted, but the authorities decide to finally tell her that Benson has passed. This reaction is what caused this case to go viral. So they presumably tell her that baby Benson is dead. The baby that she had been babysitting the day of has passed. And you know when you're in a fight with someone, let's say you're in a fight with your partner, and it's not a serious fight, you're just arguing about, I don't know, something, and they toot, they fart, or they accidentally do something that makes you want to smile because they completely caught you off guard, but you have to remind yourself, wait, I'm in the middle of a fight right now and I can't be smiling. So you almost have this forced frown, and while the lips are pointing downwards, it feels like the rest of the face is having a split identity crisis where it wants to smile, the eyes are almost smiling. That's her reaction to baby Benson's death.
Like she wanted to laugh.
Yeah, and when she starts talking, her face briefly
Chaos, I've
betrays
been
her, and it
passing
looks
out.
like her lips are going up in a smile, and she scrunches her face up and goes, "Why is he dead?"
Oh my god.
Why
That was my
is he dead?
face.
God, what do you mean? Wait, that doesn't make sense. How is he dead? What happened? Why is he dead?
Why is he dead?
Why is he dead?
We were hoping that you could shed some light on that. Marissa?
She's non-stop
She
smiling.
sniffles, but her face turns more into a smile. And if you just screenshot free, happy, someone
That's
who
facts.
just was told a joke. Her smile lines are out. She's literally smiling.
No,
And it's
guys,
not
I'm
like
good.
this
Don't worry about
uncomfortable
it.
smile either. It's like a genuine smile.
I'm
Then she
good.
opens her mouth with her lips still upturned in that
Good
creepy
to see you too,
smile.
Tejas.
And
Yeah,
she
I'm
squeezes
staying
her
on.
eyes
No worries.
closed
I'm
like
not
a
getting
10-year-old
off.
and starts making a strange crying noise.
And I need you to tell me what happened. I don't know what happened.
So for the audio listeners, I think the best way to describe what she looks like is Gollum from The Lord of the Rings.
That's what
The
I
character. I've actually had
thought.
to
That's
describe it
funny.
more.
Which one is gone?
Damn, why
The
did I
one
do
that's
that?
in my chest. He just keeps smiling, and it's like this creepy smile, and just like the way that her hair is tied, everything is very Gollum. And the strangest part is, again, body language. When someone starts crying, it's usually a full body experience. Especially devastating news like this. This isn't just about finding out that a random passerby died in a hotel room 1 floor down. This is a child that you
Yeah,
babysit
seriously.
regularly. There should be other movements in her body when she squeezes her eyes shut to cry. I mean, perhaps a hand to the face, hand to the chest, to her stomach. But it's like the rest of her body freezes. In fact, she has her arm up against one of the railings. She's like leaned with her elbow on the railing. And she just starts squeezing her eyes together.
Trying to force a cry.
Yes, and it's like her whole body freezes. She uses all of her energy to focus on squeezing out a tear
Exactly,
that won't
Christina.
come out, and she almost doesn't want to cover her face so the police can see her cry. She finally moves one hand to an eye, and it's just a strange visual. Why is he dead?
Thank
We
you,
were hoping
dancing.
that
I
you
need
could shed
it
some light on
without
that.
Eric here.
I don't know what happened.
I need somebody
This
to...
is the most important conversation you will ever have in your life.
Christina's been such a big help.
No, you're
She's been
not telling me.
amazing.
You didn't tell me last time, and you're not telling me now, and I need you to tell me the truth. Heather deserves to know what happened. I know.
At one point, she turns to face Detective Holtz and tells her in this shaky voice, like shaky, as if she's so distraught, "I'm telling you the truth." Detective Holtz does not care, and she responds, "You are not." And instantly, Marissa's face goes from scrunched up and emotional and crying and shaking, "I'm telling you the truth," to her face looks emotionless and her eyebrows are raised, and she goes, "I am."
Telling you the truth. I am. I don't know what happened.
Interesting. Did you catch that? Because the police do.
I didn't know he died.
And that's also a lie because she texted you and told you that he died.
Remember,
Oh my gosh.
Marissa
yes.
throws both of her hands in the air.
My phone's off.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
Wanna
it's
see?
not.
I'll show you my phone. I'm serious.
How do you think we found you? I'm serious.
Damn.
I am the most indecisive person ever. If you ask me what I want for dinner, my immediate response is, you pick. If I'm forced to pick dinner with a group of friends, I'm going to overthink every little shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to, did we just hit a shop stage to the first real life store stage, all the way to, did we just hit a million orders stage? Shopify shop stage to the first 36% with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at
Should be almost done.
shopify.com/rotten. All lowercase.
Yeah, my blunt's
Go to
actually almost gone,
shopify.com/rotten
dancing.
now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/rotten. Right before this, authorities had broken into her home looking for her. She was not there.
I'm glad you're
They
still
went
here,
through
Christina.
the courts to be able to get an emergency track on her phone, and that's how they got to the Plaza Hotel at 4 a.m. to ask her about baby Benson. They cannot trace her phone through cell towers if her phone is off.
I'm serious. Now cut the crap, Marissa. This is the third time we've had a discussion with you
Marissa crosses her arms.
about a child, an infant in your care, and now one is dead. One is dead.
She starts smiling and crying.
I didn't do nothing to him.
Then who did?
No one. He was fine.
Did Adam do something to him?
No one did anything to him. He was fine.
Babies don't just die.
He was fine.
The police know Marissa is lying, just like they knew she was lying 2 months ago. Detective Holtz received a report. A little 11-month-old girl was with her babysitter, and she received a skull fracture, as well as a potential brain bleed. Detective Holtz is assigned to the case, and she has social workers that are going to be present during this whole investigation since it involves children. It's not just her on the case. The group of them, they head over to this babysitter's house to investigate. That's where the incident took place. They need to know what's going on because the doctor
Ooh,
is
and
pretty
Nick a
certain that the injuries do not look
monster? That sounds
accidental.
fire.
And even if they are, this type of particular situation, it's probably neglect. If it's not straight up violence and abuse, it's probably neglect. Detective Holtz knocks on the door to the babysitter's apartment, and a man named opens up the door.
I might
He says
roll
his
up some of my
girlfriend, Marissa,
dispensary here
isn't home
soon.
right now, but she's gonna be
I
home
want to
soon.
wake up a little
He lets
bit
them into
first.
the house, where every single surface of this home is covered in some sort of live, laugh, love sign.
I don't know,
I mean,
Christina.
every
You'd
single
think
inch.
they
If there's a
would.
few inches above a door frame, every single inch up there is filled with a little picture frame, a live, laugh, love sign, a little knick-knack. It does not appear to be well done. It's very busy.
But only live, laugh, love sign? Like,
No, just like other things that you would imagine are in the live, laugh, love aesthetic.
okay.
Yeah. It does not appear to be very well done. It looks very busy. I mean, imagine a hoarder, but instead of piling little figurines, just post-its, postcards, signs on the floor in a pile, they just hung it up all over the walls. All over it. Every surface. Detective Holtz looks around while asking Adam about the incident. He states, yeah, a little girl that Marissa was babysitting had fallen off the couch. Detective Holtz asks, Adam, when you say the child fell off the couch, did you witness that or... No, but I mean, Marissa's one of those people that, she resorted to drugs because her kids got taken away to the point where she was just a rack of bones. And the only way we got her to go to the clinic and get clean, and she's been clean for 4 years now, is we told her that we were going to sign her into rehab. If she doesn't want to forcefully get put there, she's got to get clean. Sure, that's fair enough. She has no reason to lie to me. And I mean, whenever she babysits kids, we have other people that she watches for, you know? He walks over to the little den area and motions over at this coffee table. This coffee table gets put into the living room, and then the kids get toys put out on the ground all over the floor, as you see. You know, the toys are here.
I don't know what you
Basically,
just said,
he's
but
telling the
what's
authorities
good?
that Marissa is very diligent when she's babysitting. He goes on to explain that Marissa had just put the little girl on the couch for 2 seconds, went to the bathroom, and as she was pulling up her pants, she starts hearing crying. She rushes out, and accidents happen. In fact, it's kind of annoying that the mother of the girl would even report this in the first place. He starts ranting.
I mean, bitches like they are, and can't come talk to me about something, or come talk to us before they go and get you guys involved.
I mean, she obviously fell and hit a toy or something. Marissa's not going to go and beat a kid. I mean, she was molested as a child and stuff, so she's very protective of the kids. I mean, this is all ridiculous. I'm getting a little bit upset right now. No, I know. Just calm down. Everything's fine. I can't calm down because, like I said, I got over by social services too many times. I tried to work with them, and now look. He's our 5th child. He points at a newborn. I got pictures of my kids over here, and that's all I can do.
Why is he so mad?
He likes to throw temper tantrums. He's a little hysterical. I don't know how else to put it.
Huh.
The detective hears someone at the front door, and the front door swings open, and Marissa walks in. She walks into the kitchen, and right past the detective and social workers, does not say hi, doesn't even really acknowledge them, just walks right past them. Eventually, she does come back out, and the authorities start pressing her again.
Damn, my
I
blood's
was
like
babysitting.
gone.
So she's always like that, even at the hotel room. She's just like, let me pretend I'm not here.
Let me pretend they're not there, and I'm not here, and they'll leave.
Yeah.
She explains to them, I was babysitting, she went to bed, so I decided to clean, and then I was like doing the dishes, heard her screaming, and then stopped doing the dishes, and then she fell off the couch, and there's a bunch of toys because usually I have her sister, so like she follows her, so I had a bunch of toys out in the living room. So you were doing dishes, and then you heard screaming. Fascinating. Either Adam remembered wrong, or Marissa has 2 stories for this event.
She was literally just pulling her pants up, and she heard her crying.
And then I was like doing dishes, heard her screaming.
Was she in the bathroom just pulling up her pants, or was she doing the dishes? She must have rolled off, and then I stopped doing the dishes, and then she was on the floor. All she had was a rug burn, and then she had bruises, so she must have hit a toy on the way down. What toy was on the floor? Like this table was out, and I had a bunch of toys in the middle of the rug. Do you know which toys are out here? A bunch. Like I took a bunch of toys, and yeah, she was just sleeping on the couch. Has anything like this ever come up with you before? No. As far as a child being injured? No. Are you sure about that? Were you talked to about a year ago for a child that was injured that sustained a skull fracture? A year ago, a child in Marissa's care sustained a skull fracture to the point where she had all 4 of her and Adam's children taken away from them. Their
Damn,
parental
dog.
rights were terminated, which means there must have been enough evidence at the very first
Hang
incident
on, I'm
of
gonna
that
leave it
skull
playing. I'm gonna
fracture
see if I can
that
find
it was
something
not an accident in
snacky.
any shape, way, or form. Typically, the state does not like to terminate parental rights. To give context, it's very different from a child being removed from the parent's custody. That's usually temporary. The parent is still legally the parent. They can prove to the state, hey, I fixed whatever issues you said I had, so can I get my kids back? They can regain custody. They can also visit their children, but a full termination of parental rights. The parent loses all rights to the kid forever, including visitation. The parent has no control over any decisions regarding the child's upbringing. The parent is no longer the parent or guardian. The child becomes legally, quote, free for adoption, which is a very weird term, but... Now, if they, social services, had known that this couple had another child, a 5th child that is now in this house, they probably would have taken away that child too.
Wait, so they lost all 4 child for good?
Yes.
That is crazy.
Yeah. But they have their young son that was born maybe a few months ago that's in their care. And Marissa is currently pregnant again. And she is working as a babysitter. This is after she already has 4 kids taken from her, and now one of the girls that she babysits has a massive head injury, and Adam is trying to convince them that clearly it's not Marissa's fault, it's all an accident. The detective asks again, has anything like this ever come up with you before? No. As far as a child being injured? No. Are you sure about that? Were you talked to about a year ago for a child that had that skull fracture? That wasn't me. You were providing care for her. Well, yeah, I was, but I don't have any child abuse. No, nothing. Okay? I have 5 kids, so, like, I love kids. I don't beat them. Nothing. Okay? I always babysit people's kids. Right, and nobody's saying you beat anybody, but sometimes people lose their tempers. No, I've never. Things like that happen. I never had postpartum, nothing. The detectives tell her that they understand. They don't, okay, but they tell her. And for the time being, since a new investigation into child abuse is being opened, they're going to need to find a relative to take care of their son that they have custody over. Adam starts losing his mind. He starts screaming at the detectives to get out.
No.
So, hey, can we...
Stop.
Marissa is the one calming him down. Adam, stop. They said that he can stay with your dad until the investigation is over. No, my dad cannot watch him. You guys can go. You guys can leave. Go. You need to leave. Adam, we can't leave right now. Adam picks up their son, who is crying, just starting to walk out with the baby, and the officers tell him, you cannot leave with this child. Watch me. You cannot leave with that child. The baby starts crying in his arms. They're all standing in the kitchen, and he's just lost his mind. Finally, the social worker firmly tells him, stop it. You're scaring the baby.
You're scaring my baby. Get the f out of my house.
Marissa offers to leave. He wasn't in the house when the accident happened. He wasn't involved, so as long as I leave, since it's an investigation into me, he can stay with the baby, no? Adam's not listening. He's still screaming. If you think you're taking my kid, you guys can go. Adam, I will leave and you can have him. No, they need to leave. No, because then they're gonna take him. I've asked all of you nicely. I told you guys when you came into my house, did I not? If you guys think you're taking my kid or asking my kid to go anywhere, I don't have any family members. We have no family. I was not here. Why would my kid ever have to leave when I'm his parent? She was the only one here. She can leave. Well, that's what's gonna happen. She's gonna go stay with my sister. He uses both of his fingers to point at the ground. The baby is staying here. That's the situation. You guys can go. Well, we're not leaving until this is all sorted out. I told you guys what's gonna happen. I told them when they came into this house, I told them nicely, and I told them from day one, you guys are all lying, all of you. That's why I don't trust any of you cocksuckers. I don't think anyone's lied to you at this point.
Did I not? You're right. When you guys walked in the door, I said, if you think you're gonna do anything with my kid, you better bring the SWAT team. That's exactly what I said, and I'm sticking to it.
Somehow he ends up shirtless, and they're trying to inform him it's not really how it works. You can't just tell the police to leave just because you want them to. And he tells them, it's my house, I pay the bills. Do you guys come and pay my rent? No, so you can leave. Which is a very juvenile argument. Yeah, and he's screaming at them, you guys can leave, I'm not going to ask you 15 times. Adam, if you can sit down and relax. I will relax as soon as you get out my door. You can talk through my door, but I don't want you in my house no more. I'm sorry, we cannot leave with a child with him in that state. I'm pissed off because you guys are two-faced fuckers. I'll be calm as soon as you leave. Eventually, the police do leave. They leave the baby under the care of Adam, and Marissa needs to find a new place to stay while there's an active investigation. She is not to be around any children at all until the investigation is concluded. 2 months later, October 18th, she's around children. She is alone with her son, Heather's toddler, and Heather's baby Benson.
So they removed her from the house.
Yes, but they don't check in every day.
That's crazy. She just came right back.
Yeah.
Wow.
October 18th, Heather probably gets the worst text message you can get while your kids are being watched by a babysitter. She gets sent pictures of her babysitter, Marissa, mugshots, and the charges are listed as child abuse. What the hell is going on? She starts freaking out. She reaches out to Marissa, who has her children right now, and asks her if this is true, to which Marissa just responds, yeah, come get your kids because I'm not allowed to be around children. That is the last thing you want to hear. Heather panics, calls her sister Jessie, and asks if she can come with her to pick up the kids. So they rush, they go pick up the kids, and they bring them to the laundry mat. Now, the whole situation when they pick up the kids is very strange and obviously alarming.
You're saying on that day that they went to the laundromat is the day that she got a picture.
From a coworker.
That's the day.
Yes.
But before that, she didn't know that Marissa was
No.
under investigation for child abuse.
No, Heather had known Marissa since they were 15, which is why she trusted her enough to watch her kids. I mean, they didn't necessarily stay friends the entire time, but Heather was working at Olive Garden, and so was Marissa's sister, who basically tells Heather, you know, it's kind of a win-win situation. Marissa had just given birth. She's already staying home to watch her newborn son. It's not going to take too much more work for her to watch another kid on top of that. And on top of that, Heather, you need a babysitter so you can keep working. Of course, Heather wouldn't have just left her baby with someone that she believed was abusive. I mean, she truly did not know. At the Plaza Hotel, the officers decide to ask Marissa and Adam the same questions to see if their answers are going to line up. Because interrogating couples is always a very interesting, enlightening process. If they're both telling the truth, then the answer should be more or less the same. Because the
Sorry,
truth
guys, I'm
in
getting
these
food.
very extreme types of cases where somebody dies, it's pretty objective. Is somebody dead or not? Did somebody do something or not? These are very objective questions. But if they're lying, then you have to wonder, are they lying to protect themselves and throw their partner under the bus? Or are they lying to protect their partner? And it's almost this game of how well do you know your significant other? Let's say you both have to lie about something. You have to choose an answer you think that they will also choose. Otherwise, the police will know that somebody is lying if your answers are different. And that's exactly what happens. Their answers are different. Right after Marissa is told that Benson is dead and she finds out and has this big emotional response, the officers, they try to give her an out. They tell her, I understand that things get frustrating, especially with you being pregnant and having your own child. Marissa's face and voice goes from this high-pitched crying sound to, yeah, no, they weren't frustrating, I promise you that.
I don't know what happened. I promise.
I understand that things get frustrating, especially with you being pregnant and having a child of your own.
They were frustrating.
Which is very interesting because as she's outside promising that, Adam is inside the hotel room talking pretty negatively about the boys. He says about the toddler, he doesn't play with much, he's a pretty quiet kid. I mean, I shouldn't say quiet. If you look at him wrong even, he's gonna start crying. I mean, lately he's been getting used to us. And he describes baby Benson as being a fussy, crabby baby. As soon as you pick him up, he whines. He's very difficult.
Even Heather told us he's been real fussy and he's been real gassy and stuff.
Now, side note, even earlier in the day when Adam was out hunting and Marissa was home watching the kids, he texts her, are the crybabies still there? So meanwhile, Marissa says they're not frustrating at all. She can promise you that. But Adam says they're incredibly difficult and they're very frustrating to deal with. The couple can't even decide on the same answer if they're difficult or not difficult. So the police keep going with Marissa. Sometimes things happen, but we just need to know the truth and that's all, okay? I had the baby monitor, but I didn't kill him. Marissa essentially states that she had the baby monitor on and she was watching Benson through the baby monitor. She did not kill him. It was just an implied accident. She said she didn't check up on him. She went to go pick him up from his, little crib and he was dead.
And then she returned the baby back?
Went to McDonald's and then returned the baby back.
Yeah, how does she explain that?
Exactly. So the police are like, well, how long was it that you didn't check up on him? Start from the beginning. It was like before Adam got there, I checked on him. Did you know then that he was, but I didn't kill him. How did you know he does sleep that long and I don't know, he felt cold. He felt cold and I was scared. My boyfriend wasn't home and everything, so oh my God. I'm sure it's very scary, but I didn't kill him. How did you find him? How was he laying? I put him on his belly. And how did you find him? Was he just on his belly? She starts explaining how she went into the bedroom with the baby camera where Benson was asleep in the pack and play. But she starts freaking out when she sees that his face is in the blanket, just head on, nose into the mattress, which by the way, you're not really supposed to let the baby sleep on their belly that young. And he doesn't look like he's breathing. She starts freaking out. He's cold to the touch. He likely suffocated by accident in the pack and play. That's what she's stating. Was there anything coming out of his mouth? No. Okay, and he felt cold. Did you check for a pulse? Did you see if he was breathing or did you just feel his skin and it was cold? No, he just wasn't making any noise. Well, what did you think was going to happen when Heather came to pick him up? I don't know. Did you think that she wasn't going to notice? Yeah. That she was or wasn't going to notice? She was going to notice. Okay, did you try and do anything to revive him? Did you do any CPR? And she smiles. This big smile. Really big. The thought of that suggestion in itself is stupid type of smile. No, because I don't even know how to do that. And the second she catches herself smiling, she quickly shuts it off.
Try to do CPR.
Oh, because I don't even know how to do that.
Help me understand. When you discovered him there, why didn't you call the police? Because I was scared and my boyfriend wasn't there and I didn't want my baby taken.
Okay.
How did you determine that he was no longer alive?
I'm back.
I picked him up and he was really cold. How did you pick him up? I just went like this. Okay, and what did he look like? He was just cold. What did you do afterwards? I laid him down on the floor and I put a snowsuit on. Then I grabbed his car seat, I put him in the car seat, and yeah, I put some blankets on it. But you laid him on the floor, but you don't know CPR. No attempts to call anyone or research anything online. I don't really know any CPR, really. And again, that was before Adam got home. And Adam did not notice that he was dead. He probably just thought he was sleeping. Now, Adam is also asked about the series of events to make sure they line up with what Marissa is saying. Who went to McDonald's? All of you? All of us. The three
Thank you,
kids in the back
Nancy.
seat. Which McDonald's? The one by the courthouse. Okay, then we came home. Who picked him up out of the pack and play and put him in the car to go to McDonald's? Oh, I picked him up and I put him in there and he was absolutely normal to me. Really, what is normal to you?
Wait, that's a
Whiny.
lie, right?
Whiny. As soon as you pick him up, he whines and stuff. So he was making noise.
When I took him out of the pack and play and stuff, he was whining and crying and everything.
Fascinating. Either Adam remembered wrong, or Marissa has two stories for this event.
She was literally just pulling her pants up and she heard her cry.
And then I was like doing dishes, heard her screaming.
Was she in the bathroom just pulling up her pants, or was she doing the dishes? She must have rolled off, and then I stopped doing the dishes, and then she was on the floor. All she had was a rug burn, and then she had bruises, so she must have hit a toy on the way down. What toy was on the floor? Like this table was out, and I had a bunch of toys in the middle of the rug. Do you know which toys are out here? A bunch. Like, I took a bunch of toys, and yeah, she was just sleeping on the couch. Has anything like this ever come up with you before? No. As far as a child being injured? No. Are you sure about that? Were you talked to about a year ago for a child that was injured that sustained a skull fracture? A year ago, a child in Marissa's care sustained a skull fracture to the point where she had all four of her and Adam's children taken away from them. Their parental rights were terminated, which means there must have been enough evidence at the very first incident of that skull fracture that it was not an accident in any shape, way, or form. Typically, the state does not like to terminate parental rights to give context. It's very different from a child being removed from the parent's custody. That's usually temporary. The parent is still legally the parent. They can prove to the state, hey, I fixed whatever issues you said I had, so can I get my kids back? They can regain custody. They can also visit their children, but a full termination of parental rights. The parent loses all rights to the kid forever, including visitation. The parent has no control over any decisions regarding the child's upbringing. The parent is no longer the parent or guardian. The child becomes legally, quote, free for adoption, which is a very weird term, but... Now, if they, social services, had known that this couple had another child, a fifth child that is now in this house, they probably would have taken away that child too.
Wait, so they lost all four child for good?
Yes.
That is crazy.
Yeah. But they have their young son that was born maybe a few months ago that's in their care. And Marissa is currently pregnant again.
Wow.
And she is working as a babysitter. This is after she already has 4 kids taken from her, and now one of the girls that she babysits has a massive head injury, and Adam is trying to convince them that clearly it's not Marissa's fault, it's all an accident. The detective asks again, has anything like this ever come up with you before? No. As far as a child being injured? No. Are you sure about that? Were you talked to about a year ago for a child that had that skull fracture? That wasn't me. You were providing care for her. Well, yeah, I was, but I don't have any child abuse. No, nothing. Okay? I have 5 kids, so, like, I love kids. I don't beat them. Nothing. Okay? I always babysit people's kids. Right, and nobody's saying you beat anybody, but sometimes people lose their tempers. No, I've never. Things like that happen. I never had postpartum, nothing. The detectives tell her that they understand. They don't, okay, but they tell her. And for the time being, since a new investigation into child abuse is being opened, they're going to need to find a relative to take care of their son that they have custody over. Adam starts losing his mind. He starts screaming at the detectives to get out.
No. So how did you So hey, do we? Go! Go! Stop! Stop!
Marissa Marina's the one calming him down. Adam, stop. They said that he can stay with your child.
Okay, sorry,
The baby
guys.
starts crying in his arms. They're all standing in the kitchen, and he's just lost
Is
his
Christina
mind.
still here?
Finally, the social worker, stop it. You're scaring the
Who all
baby.
is still here?
You're in my baby. Get the fuck out of my house.
Marissa offers to leave. He wasn't in the house when the accident happened. He wasn't involved, so as long as I leave, since it's an investigation into me, he can stay with the baby, no? Adam's not listening. He's still screaming. If you think you're taking my kid, you guys can go.
That's what's up. Is
Adam,
Axe still here?
You can have him. No, they need to leave. No, because then they're gonna take him. I've asked all of you nicely. I told you guys when you came into my house, did I not? If you guys think you're taking my kid or asking my kid to go anywhere, I don't have any family.
Hey, that's
We
what's
have
up,
no
Nancy.
family. I was not here. Why would my kid ever have to leave when I'm his parent? She was the only one here. She can leave. Well, that's what's gonna happen. She's gonna go
What's up,
stay with my
Clint?
sister.
How are you?
He uses both of his fingers to point at the ground. The baby is staying here. That's the situation. You guys can go. Well, we're not leaving until this is all sorted out. I told you guys what's gonna happen. I told...
Did we already hear this part?
them when they came into this house. I told them nicely, and I told them from day one, you guys are all lying, all of you. That's why I don't trust any of you cocksuckers. I don't think anyone's lied to you.
Oh,
at
a
this
dog
point.
hunt? What's that?
Did I not? All right, we're gonna go walk
Is that
the
when you
door.
take your dog
I
here and you
said,
go
if you think
hunting?
you're gonna do anything with my kid, you better bring the SWAT team. That's exactly what I said. And I'm sticking to
We
it.
did hear this part.
Somehow he ends up shirtless, and they're trying to inform him it's not really how it works. You can't just tell the police to leave just because you want to say. Because the truth in these very extreme types of cases where somebody dies, it's pretty objective. Is somebody dead or not?
Okay.
Did somebody do something or not? These are very objective questions. But if they're lying, then you have to wonder, are they lying to protect themselves and throw their partner under the bus? Or are they lying
My
to
night's
protect their
going.
partner?
It's
And it's
depressing
almost
as
the same of
fuck,
how
but
well do you know your significant other? Let's say
trying
you
to
both
be
have
here
to
with
lie
you
about
guys.
something. You have to choose
Keep
an
doing
answer
the
you
shit
think
that
they
I
will
always
also
do.
choose. Otherwise, the police will
It's
know
gonna get
that
you
somebody is
difficult.
lying if your answers are different. And that's exactly what happens.
Listen, he's been real fussy. He's been real gassy and stuff.
There we go.
Now, side note, even earlier in the day when Adam was out hunting and Marissa was home watching the kids, he texts her, are the crybabies still there? So meanwhile, Marissa says they're not frustrating at all. She can promise you that. But Adam says they're incredibly difficult and they're very frustrating to deal with. The couple can't even decide on the same answer if they're difficult or not difficult. So the police keep going with Marissa. Sometimes things happen, but we just need to know the truth, and that's all, okay? I had the baby monitor, but I didn't kill him. Marissa essentially states that she had the baby monitor on and she was watching Benson through the baby monitor. She did not kill him. It was just an implied accident. She said she didn't check up on him. She went to go pick him up from his, little crib, and he was dead.
And then she returned the baby back?
Went to
Oh,
McDonald's and
interesting.
then returned the baby back.
Yeah, how did she explain that?
That sounds like an
Exactly.
interesting
So the
thing.
police are like, well, how long was it that you didn't check up on him? Start from the beginning. It was like before Adam got there, I checked on him. Did you know then that he was, but I didn't kill him. How did you know he does sleep that long, and I don't know, he felt cold. He felt cold, and I was scared. My boyfriend wasn't home and everything, so, oh my God. I'm sure it's very scary, but I didn't kill him. How did you find him? How was he laying? I put him on his belly. And how did you find him? Was he just on his belly? She starts explaining how she went into the bedroom with the baby camera where Benson was asleep in the pack and play. But she starts freaking out when she sees that his face is in the blanket, just head on, nose into the mattress, which, by the way, you're not really supposed to let the baby sleep on their belly that young. And he doesn't look like he's breathing. She starts freaking out. He's cold to the touch. He likely suffocated by accident in the pack and play. That's what she's stating. Was there anything coming out of his mouth? No. Okay, and he felt cold. Mm-hmm. Did you check for a pulse? Did you see if he was breathing, or did you just feel his skin and it was cold? No, he just wasn't making any noise. Well, what did you think was going to happen when Heather came to pick him up? I don't know. Did you think that she wasn't going to notice? Yeah. That she was or wasn't going to notice?
Wow, my
She was
dabs
gonna
fell
notice.
out.
Okay, did you try and do anything to revive him?
Yeah, I've
Did you
never
do
went
any
hunting or
CPR?
anything like that.
And she smiles. This big smile, like really big. Like the thought of that suggestion in itself is a stupid type of smile. No, because I don't even know how to do that. And the second she catches herself smiling, she quickly shuts it off.
So I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah, she laughed.
Help me understand, when you discovered him there, why didn't you call the police? Because I was scared and my boyfriend wasn't there and I didn't want my baby taken. How did you determine that he was no longer alive? I picked him up and he was really cold. How did you pick him up? I just went like this. Okay, and what did he look like? He was just cold. What did you do afterwards? I laid him down on the floor and I put a snowsuit on. Then I grabbed his car seat, I put him in the car seat, and yeah, I put some blankets on him. But you laid him on the floor, but you don't know CPR. No attempts to call anyone or research anything online. Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah,
CPR,
it's
And
good.
again,
I got
that
it.
was before Adam got home. And Adam did not notice that he was dead. He probably just thought he was sleeping. Now, Adam is also asked about the series of events to make sure they line up with what Marissa is
Yeah,
saying.
for real.
Who went to McDonald's? All of you? All of us. The 3 kids in the back seat. Which McDonald's? The one by the courthouse. Okay. Then we came home. Who picked him up out of the pack and play and put him in the car to go to McDonald's? Oh, I picked him up and I put him in there and he was absolutely normal to me. Really? What is normal to you?
Wait,
Whiny.
that's a lie, right?
Whining. As soon as you pick him up, he whines and stuff. So he was making noise.
When I took him out of the back and play and stuff, he was whining and crying and everything.
But deceased babies don't cry. So who's lying here? And why? Marissa ends up being arrested for her previous child abuse charges, and while she's in jail, the police start monitoring all of her jailhouse calls, minus the ones that she has with her attorney, of course. And they're just looking for anything that she admits to anyone, because so far she's saying it's purely an accident. They know that it's not, but they need to get her to admit it or to tell them what actually happened. Now, most jailhouse calls are pretty messy. I believe that most of them are monitored and recorded, and a lot of them are very sexual, as one might imagine. And same goes for Marissa. Not only did she have intense sexual conversations with Adam, but she had multiple new pen pals that she would have these long sexual conversations with. She was known to be very good at manipulating men into believing that she is this dainty, child-loving mother who is being attacked by the media for no reason other than sensationalism. And as long as they send her money, she will marry them and bear their children for them when she gets out. She also complains extensively to all of these guys that the jail food is not nutritious enough for her pregnant body. She keeps calling all the men in her rotation, nagging them to send her money to her account because the baby can't eat prison food. And she just has this weird obsession with being pregnant, being perceived as a maternal woman. I mean, she makes it her whole identity because I don't think that she has anything else redeeming about herself. Her personality seems honestly despicable.
Can you stick it
so
out
maybe
for like
this is
10
her
more
way of trying
minutes,
to create a
dancing?
likable
It's
persona,
only
which
10 more
it's not
minutes.
working. When it comes to actual children, the actual part of being a mom and a caretaker, she does not care at all. In fact, it seems like she hates children. Now, side note, Adam takes back his statement of being the one to take Benson out of the pack and play to get him ready to go to McDonald's. So remember, he specifically told officers that he was the one that carried Benson to the carrier and to the car, and Benson was very much alive and being fussy. He said he takes it all back. He said when the police asked him in the hotel, he was half asleep. They barged into the hotel room. He didn't even know what was going on. He just assumed that he'd be the one to put him in the car seat.
I must not have. I mean, we watched him so often, and then you guys came in when I was half asleep yet, and after I had time to think about it, I didn't put him in the pack there to pick him up or anything, and Mercy even verified that, but she had him already in the car seat.
But now that he's fully awake and he's had the time to truly use his last remaining half brain cell, he remembers that Marissa already had the baby ready to go into the car seat. He just rushed in to get out of his hunting clothes. He put his crossbow down, he quickly changed, and yeah, they just went to McDonald's. Now, let's assume that Adam had no idea that Benson was already dead at this point. Why would Marissa want to go out and eat? It feels sadistic and dangerous. Does she want to go out and eat because she thinks it'll create an alibi? I mean, she would be seen outside with the baby, and surely nobody would assume that the baby was dead. Because how ballsy do you have to be to go out with a dead baby? is this all the purpose of creating an alibi, or did she really just not care at all that Benson was dead and she could just go out and eat a meal? That she's still living her life like nothing happened. I mean, it doesn't even faze her. Is she that sadistic? Or maybe it's a combination of both. Adam tried to argue, no, it's because we don't ever cook and we always eat out. But earlier that day, presumably after Benson was already
Sorry,
dead,
Jared, we're
Marissa
listening to
had
some
killed
true
him.
crime stuff.
Adam
It's
texted
almost
Marissa
over,
asking
though.
if
It's
he should
only
bring
10 more
McDonald's home for
minutes.
them, and she responded, no, let's go together with the kids. So Adam states he never checked up on Benson at all when he got home because he says he has 5 kids. And if he's learned anything at all from losing 5 kids, is
Yeah.
that you don't wake a sleeping baby.
We'll find
Now,
something
Adam
else
does
to
stay with
to
Marissa
watch,
during all of
but
this, and he's even angry for her. She would call him from jail and complain about how they won't give her meds for her migraine, and he would scream into the phone, well, I'm going to be calling up there because they need to give you your meds. Tell the guard that you need to go to the emergency room. Keep pushing that button. Keep pounding on that door. I'm going to call up there and do some freaking out. Adam also complains about how their son is a, quote, little end quote. All he wants to do is be held and then not be held. He also just randomly drops a ton of racist and homophobic slurs in the middle of random jailhouse conversations. And then he threatens to sue the jail for holding some of their mail before giving it to her. And they call the social workers ACUNT. Yeah.
This guy's crazy.
Yeah, so a lot of people actually believe, some netizens believe that she's covering for him. Because he has an explosive personality, they just don't think that he had nothing to do with it. However, my only thing is, Marissa seems absolutely selfish. I just don't see how she would take all of the blame for this guy.
So they think she killed the baby?
No, that it was an accident. That the baby just, died in his sleep.
That's what the police believe?
Oh, no, that's what Adam believes.
Oh, okay.
That's what Adam and Melissa are trying to convince everybody to believe. But the police believe that she was probably frustrated and she's an evil person and either shook the baby really hard or literally hit the baby on the head multiple times. Marissa also writes letters to her sister
That cough
Brittany,
was rough.
telling her to stay away from bad people in her life, giving her advice on how to only befriend good people, which, I guess the first step would be not being sisters with Marissa, but she's giving her all of this advice, telling her to send her money into the prison, and then immediately she'll write a letter to Adam to tell him to cut Brittany off because she's worried that they're going to sleep with each other behind her back. She would also write letters complaining about being in jail. She writes, why me? I'm not a bad person. I'm a good mom, not a lawbreaker, not a threat to society either, but the news, detectives, etc., they make it look like I really am. They don't know me, and everyone makes mistakes in their lifetime. Nobody is perfect. One accident that wasn't supposed to happen like that in 28 years of my life. She also tells another pen pal that she has $1 million pussy.
All right, there's only 7 minutes left.
And that he needs to send money to her account, otherwise she's going to eat the bread that the prison gives her for free, which will cause her to be overweight, and he will not want that. I mean, they just have zero remorse. This is what she's doing after she's thrown into jail for killing a baby. Regardless of which story Marissa is saying, or what anybody is saying, or what she's telling her pen pals, her versions of events do not line up with baby Benson's autopsy. It is clear that, according to his autopsy, he sustained multiple head injuries caused by blunt force trauma to the head. He had abrasions on his nose, his chin, his right ankle was fractured. This was not caused by suffocation. So the authorities bring in Marissa for one last interrogation. It's Detective Holtz leading the interrogation, but Captain Graham, who is also present at the hotel, is there again. And they straight up tell her, I can say without a doubt that what you're telling me is not true. He's got very severe injuries to his head. Yeah, I don't know how. I would like to give you an opportunity to explain yourself. I promise you, I did not do anything to him, I promise. That's why I asked you if he fell. I know, he didn't fall. Did he roll and tumble just a little bit, Marissa? Not that I've seen. I didn't do anything to him. Marissa starts sobbing. I did not kill him. I could never kill anyone in my life. Like I said, I just fed him, burped him, changed him. I put him in the thing.
Yeah, I don't know how. I'd like to give you an opportunity to explain yourself. I promise you I did not do nothing to him.
Eventually, in this last interrogation, they get her to admit that she was frustrated by baby Benson. He was crying, being fussy, so all she did was pick him up, walk him over to the pack and play. This is like a playpen, if you will, and it comes up to maybe about her thigh, like mid-thigh, above the knee. Dropped him shoulder length down into the pack and play. She listened to him cry for a couple of minutes, then repositioned him on his stomach, face into the pack and play, and then walked off. She stated that when she got back, he was dead. This is what they're able to get her to admit to, but it's likely that it was far worse than that. The injuries he sustained are pretty bad. She tries to argue that he might have tumbled a bit inside when she dropped him into the pack and play from shoulder length. But again, as horrendous as that sounds, the police believe it's so much worse. He had broken bones. The authorities suspect that she might have chucked him from the door of the bedroom into the pack and play. Like thrown him like a basketball. But she will not admit to that. Marissa ends up crying at the end of her confession, likely because she knows that she just confessed to a very serious crime and will be in jail for a while. They ask her one last time, did you try to do something to bring him back to life? And she says, tried blowing on his mouth because that's all I know how to do. I don't know CPR. So this is, again, she's going back on her word. And also, at one point, this is a very chilling part, but she keeps screaming like, I didn't kill anybody. I would never kill a kid. I love kids. I didn't throw him. Nobody ever said the word throw. Nobody insinuated that she threw him. Nobody said anything.
I didn't throw my own milk. I can never do that. No, I could never.
And at the end of it, they're very straight up with her. At the end of the interrogation, they tell her she's going to have a high cash
Well,
bond.
she told on
And she just asked
herself.
them, can we not make it a high cash bond? Because I
Aw,
have to go to court
Jarrett,
for
you're
the
so
other
sweet.
thing on November 1st.
That's
A baby
crazy. I
is
could never
dead.
heard a
I
person.
know. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Christina,
I was scared and
exactly. It's
frustrated.
crazy. People
And
are
Heather gets
insane.
frustrated with him too. I'm sure. Yeah, she even said that she knows how her kids are. Every parent gets frustrated at some point. So what's going to happen down the line, and eventually, is you're going to face charges for this incident. How long? How much? It almost seems like she's surprised that she's actually going to face charges for it. She ends it with, I loved her kids. I always babysat them. I liked her. Tell her I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to. In the end, Marissa tries to argue that she suffered from so much brain damage due to her extensive substance abuse that this cannot be the real her that committed the crime. Basically, she's saying she's not guilty by reason of insanity. She also writes a letter to the judge that reads, Judge Faltzad, this Marissa T. Sort, and I want a bond reduction, because this is crazy, that don't get half signature bond and half cash bond, and lowered like, really, I'm not a monster or whatever. I love my kids, and I'm a mom to 5 kids, plus I'm pregnant now with my 6th kid. I'm 5 months pregnant and not getting the food or medical treatment I need for my unborn baby. Want to see if I can get ankle bracelet to get attorney? I'm not a bad person or anything. Also, I've been sober for 4 years. Thanks, Marissa. The judge did not care for her letter. Ultimately, she was sentenced to 37 years in prison for Benson's death, which is not nearly enough. And I guess the only silver lining, if we have to try and find one in this, is that Marissa genuinely thought that she was going to get out in a few months. Genuinely. And that is the case of Marissa Tiasort. I mean, I don't even know what to say. She's just so bizarre. We also don't have a lot of information on baby Benson or Heather and the family. That's why their stories in this case is a little bit light. But it's just so bizarre. It seems like she wanted the money from babysitting. I mean, clearly she's a hoarder. Some people report that she has storage
Parappa,
closets
the
filled
rapper.
with junk. Like she just loved spending money.
Why does she
That's
so many
Dave.
kids,
Okay.
though? Like,
Yes, okay, so it seems like she likes the attention and wanting to claim herself as this very maternal person. I think she's trying to make that her whole image. Maybe she doesn't have much else going for her, so this is what she tries to, because she brings it up a lot when she's talking to her romantic pen pals, and it's almost like a selling point. Yeah, she talks about how motherly she is, how much she loves kids, how she's just, kids are her life. I guess maybe it makes her feel good. It's just so bizarre. What are your thoughts on this one? Let me know in the comments, and please stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.
Damn. Okay. I don't even know if I have any words for that one. That was just intense. How do you kill a kid? Like, 11 weeks old. That's bizarre. Anyways, thanks for sticking around if you stuck through that. That was crazy. Yeah, exactly, Christina. Now maybe something more uplifting. Yeah, that'd be great. I don't know what though. What's uplifting? Hey, why is that not charging? Oh, it's not plugged in anymore. That would be why. God, I miss Eric. This fucking sucks, you guys. Fucking shit. I don't have Netflix. Sorry. Yeah, guys, we should start watching movies in the Discord again. It'll give me something to do right now. Yeah, those are both really good. A girl moves in with 3 strangers. 1 month later, she lights the house on fire. What kind of video do you guys want to watch? I did hear that. That was crazy. Something funny or with action. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if anything funny right now. No, I haven't seen it yet. It says there's one person here, guys. Are you for real? Damn, y'all. Give your girl some love. What the fuck? Yeah, Paul, right now is usually when I have the most people here. Good morning, Paul. I'm just not gonna play music. Or not music, a video. Because I don't have anything uplifting to play, and I was into true crime, so I just don't know what to watch. Sorry, I just wanted to rest my face. I wasn't asleep that time. I was just resting my head. I've got a migraine, so I've had it all night. I'm hitting the hay. Ashley, try to get some sleep on. Oh, you're going to bed. Alright, Christina. Dan. Oh, guys, I'm alive. Y'all are wildin'. No, I was just like, this feels nice. Hang on, I need a snack. Ow, oh my butt. You down that shit, Jarrett.
This woman just robbed her boss.
There we go.
Because she didn't
What's
get
up,
a Christmas
Icy?
bonus. I can't even believe I said that headline. As stories that we keep covering just get more and more absurd, but meet Heather Nelson. And she worked for an 83-year-old woman as a housekeeper in Florida. And apparently, Heather asked for a $500 bonus for Christmas, and when her boss said she couldn't afford it, Heather lost it.
It was the night before Christmas when the sheriff says Heather Nelson was at the woman's home and a terrible incident unfolded. The victim stated that Ms. Nelson demanded $500 for a Christmas bonus, and when she told Ms. Nelson she didn't have it, Ms. Nelson became irate. The victim further stated Ms. Nelson used force to grab her wrist, twist her arm, and physically took her checkbook away from her while arguing with her.
Okay, wait. So let me get this straight. Heather is a contracted housekeeper. She demands a Christmas bonus, and when she didn't get it, she said, all right, let me just collect it myself. What? Originally, I thought this was going to be some sort of, like, revenge at corporate America greed, where it was clearly, like, some large firm that overworked their employee and could have easily afforded the extra bonus. This is absolutely not that case. This is an elderly woman living off of her retirement who hired Heather as a housekeeper. And the poor lady said she doesn't even have the extra money to give for a bonus. So she robbed the old lady? According to the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, Heather went, and I'm quoting the Sheriff's Department here, Grinch on the old lady. That's a quote straight from the cops, but her nickname makes sense. Here, Heather, who wants something extra for Christmas, and when she can't get it, she decides to essentially get herself fired and rack up a felony. Or a handful of felonies. What a massive skill issue. If you need an extra $500, forcefully robbing your employer, that shouldn't be an option. That shouldn't be on the table at all.
Seriously.
Talk about a Christmas crash out. So when Heather first got told no, I guess, for her Christmas bonus, she took it upon herself to grab the elderly boss's checkbook, in the process Heather almost broke this woman's wrist. So you could easily add assault to that charge as well with this genius move. And Heather, after breaking this poor lady's wrist, went on to steal a check from the checkbook. She even took Christmas cards and checks inside of these Christmas cards that were meant to be mailed out. But it gets so much worse because the story doesn't stop at Heather just, breaking the woman's wrist and stealing her Christmas cards and checks. She actually wrote herself a check for $1,400 using that stolen check that she stole, and then she grabbed her victim's credit card and then started paying for her rent and other bills, all because she couldn't get a $500 Christmas bonus? That doesn't make sense.
Affidavit lays out some of the transactions. It states, on December 24th, 2024, there was a transaction for $1,752.52 to YSI Southgate Apartments.
Ooh.
On December 24th, another transaction for $50 to Afterpay. Then on Christmas Day, December 25th, there was a transaction for $150 to Afterpay.
Nah, for real,
That same
solid.
day,
Don't
Christmas,
steal from
there
old
was another
ladies.
transaction for $75 to Afterpay, and then 2 more payments to Afterpay on Christmas, one for $50 and another for $37.50.
How can this go from, hey, can I have a $500 Christmas bonus, to robbery, theft, check fraud, credit card fraud, and then paying your rent and late fees with a stolen credit card? Is she just speedrunning prison? Like, what? Where was the upside here? Like, obviously the upside, let's get some bills paid, but I mean, like, did she not think she was gonna get caught? What also kills me about this list is how many payments she made to Afterpay. So I'm assuming she already bought all this stuff and I guess was counting for this Christmas bonus to pay her Afterpay bills. But I guess, since she already had the credit card, hey, might as well pay for rent as well. What? But Sheriff Wayne Ivey, who was at the scene, called her out for her actions, saying, what's next? Kick her dog too. And honestly, after hearing that story, I wouldn't be surprised if she did that as well. The crazy part is, Heather was finally caught when the check cleared and the credit card transactions were traced back to her. So Sheriff Ivey couldn't help but make fun of her in the press release, offering her gifts like a booking photo and access to their world-famous one-star dining facility.
Of course, knowing that the Grinch who tried to steal Christmas from an 83-year-old was about to be arrested by our team, I decided to go out with them on the arrest as I wanted to see exactly what the Grinch looked like in person. And even better, when Nelson saw me on scene as she was being arrested, she asked Agent Cheryl why he had to bring me, as I was going to blast her all over Facebook and make her look bad. The post continued, to be honest, Heather, you made yourself look bad, and that is why you had a waiting reservation at Ivy's Iron Bar Lodge on a $30,000 bond. And of course, since you were so worried about getting your bonus, we had some extra gifts for you, like a keepsake booking photo, a slightly used pair of shower slides, and unlimited access to our world-famous one-star dining facility where you can enjoy absolutely nothing you eat.
I mean, she played herself, and she absolutely deserves to be clowned on for her own actions here. And the listed offense date for all of this was on January 7th, and she made her initial appearance on the 8th. It does look like she's since been bonded out and is currently awaiting trial, but she's headed to trial with a laundry list, or I guess a Christmas list of charges here, including robbery without a weapon, aggravated battery against an elderly person, forgery of a public record, passing counterfeit instrument, fraudulent use of an ID without the consent of an elderly victim, fraudulent use of a credit card, and grand theft larceny. Well played. With actions like that, I guess that's what you get for Christmas. But hey, at least it's good to know that Heather is currently awaiting trial. But what about the victim?
You not only have the physical injury, as you said, from her wrist being sprained so badly, but also the emotional injury that goes with it, not being able to trust anyone, fearing losing their independence and everything. But overall, she's doing good. Our team, our advocates are working with her and doing everything we can to help get her back to where she was before.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to her. Like, it's great that she's making positive progress, but I didn't think about that this might actually affect her ability to live independently. Obviously, a broken wrist can do a lot with your mobility because you're so reliant on lifting yourself up, especially in old age, but also just like the whole trust aspect of being like afraid of trusting anyone else to help you. And at that age, you are soon to be reliant on other people to help you. And apparently, Heather worked for this lady for over a year before she had this crash out. So I guess they actually knew each other to a fair amount. So surely this couldn't have just happened out of nowhere.
What we found is that she had been taking advantage of her in so many different ways. I mean, there was indications that she had actually, if she went out to the mailbox to pick up the mail, she was charging her $100 to go out and get her mail. So, just disgusting approach and taking advantage and abusing one of our seniors, and really, quite frankly, one of our most precious of citizens, our seniors that are such a big part of our community.
You gotta hate people who take advantage of the elderly. What a garbage human. It almost sounds like this could have happened at any time, or honestly any reason in the last year. The actual robbery occurred the day before Christmas, which is why she's being dubbed the Grinch. But I do wonder if the victim had told Heather no before then, if this would have occurred then as well. It's a sad, it's laughably stupid because Heather's actions are so stupid you just have to laugh at them, but it's just depressing for the older lady. So if we have to depend on nurses and home cleaners to help assist with elderly people, it does beg the question on how do you avoid people like Heather? I guess background checks, but also are you really supposed to expect a 83-year-old that needs help to do a background check on a contractor? I don't know, but I also do believe in the good of humanity. Even though we cover a lot of bizarre stories of people doing absolute garbage stuff, I still look at strangers as potential friends, and I guess that we just kind of have to trust that the trash will eventually take itself out, as we see time and time again here on this channel. It's just, oh man, what a scumbag. I feel so bad for the old lady here.
The prevention has to come with the communication and the family. The family, we never really can let our guard down. We have to rely on healthcare workers and, cleaners and everyone else to come into these homes because we're all working jobs and we can't really always be there for the loved ones. But at the same time, we can't turn a blind eye to what could happen.
I guess it's just another massive reminder that, hey, if we have family or know anyone that's a threat to this kind of elder abuse, we gotta make sure to check in on them. Thankfully, the situation didn't end up worse, and thankfully this person was caught fairly quickly. But other than that, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video. Feel free to subscribe if you're new here, and hopefully, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. This story has had a lot of plot twists since it first broke, but meet Corey Harris. He went viral the other week for showing up to court in regards to a suspended license like this on Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
So yes, he's driving. Why didn't he join? Why didn't he just wait to join?
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
Why didn't you just join right there?
What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter up to possibly 2 to 4 weeks that the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is the driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
He was just driving. And he didn't have a license.
Stick with the charges, Your Honor.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
The silence is so loud here. What?
Hello?
One minute, Mr. Harris.
Why did you do that to yourself, man? Why?
defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond. Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
Okay.
Court call case, People versus Maya Isom.
I mean, they couldn't have been that funnier if they hired actors to do exactly that. Like, that's Kino. That was amazing. At least when it comes into comedy. It sucks that he put himself in this situation. After that, I wouldn't even be surprised if he drove himself to turn himself in. But the story had a plot twist after this video went viral. Because allegedly this was an error, as he had a bunch of viral tweets saying, man who went viral for driving on a suspended license was actually a victim of a clerical error, and his suspension should have been lifted 2 years ago. Here he went on to the news station WXYZ and had this to say. With the type of ties that I have to the church and the community, it's very embarrassing. The article reads, his driver license was suspended in 2010 for unpaid child support, but a judge rescinded the suspension in January of 2022, the TV station said. However, the Michigan Secretary of State's office never received a clearance from the Saginaw friend of the court, reported WXYZ, which tracked down the clerical error. This means that the lifting of suspension never went into effect. In the video clip, Harris told Simpson that he was pulling into a parking lot at the doctor's office for an appointment. What was I thinking? I was thinking about getting my wife medical help, Harris told the news station. That's what I was thinking. Okay. But wait, he didn't give any indication that he was taking his wife to get medical help. I feel like that would be very important context to add into court here. It was definitely not making him look good whatsoever. I wasn't thinking about the fact that I got a suspended license. I don't care about all that. Always double check behind these workers because they will say that they will do something and they don't do it, he added. Harris said he spent 2 days in jail following the hearing after turning himself in. Kyla Crane, deputy legal detective for the Michigan Secretary of State, told the station that the process to get a driver's license reinstated can be a complicated process. Sometimes it is as simple as we at the Secretary of State's office did not get a clearance from the court that everything was done, but something happened in the wires, and we needed to talk to the court to get the clearance to clean up for the resident, Crane said. Okay, so that is interesting. So a bunch of news articles started essentially apologizing to the guy, saying, oh, we misreported this. The first part of the story, that wasn't the full story, but it might have been, because there's yet another plot twist to this entire situation. Because the judge dragged him back into court, this time in person, not over Zoom. This is what he had to say about that.
To get through this as quick as I possibly can. But I will tell you, first of all, with any reference to your client having had a license on that day, and some indication of misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license, I will make it very clear, based upon what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license, ever, and has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up this great union. He has never had a license. In point of fact, when they suspended his license, and what people don't understand, when they suspended his license in Saginaw, they don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege to drive in this state. Hence, for example, if he had had a Kentucky license, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted. I know you know that, but that wasn't at all said. But it doesn't matter because he didn't have a license. Ever.
So he lied? He went from acting stupid to, oh, we owe him an apology, to, how stupid can you be? This guy is literally stupid maxing. He shows up to court about a suspended driver's license driving, has the judge wait for him to park his own car, then I guess just lies to everyone claiming there was an error and he did, in fact, have a license. Thinking the courts wouldn't investigate, but it gets so much worse.
That court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His license was his driving privileges, better stated, were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it. Therefore, the friend of the court was under no obligation to send anything to the Secretary of State.
fucked up because he would actually have to go out and get his license.
But when there's a question as to what I did, I'm going to look at everything to make sure that what I did was all in order. There's then an indication from that because that wasn't sent, there was a direct attack on Michigan's Department of Secretary of State's office, saying that the Secretary of State was somehow at fault.
It's really not a good idea to lie and say the U.S. government wronged you when you're actively in court against them. It's not like they wouldn't investigate. Like, this whole situation just doesn't make sense. I think this has to be the most laughably stupid thing I've covered in years. This is just pure comedic gold without even trying to be comedic gold.
The other part of this is, the stop was in October. Most of the cases that we've heard just in this last afternoon are driving while license suspended cases. That's part of my Wednesday afternoon. We go through great pains to try to get people their licenses back, which is really how it should happen. Between October and because I don't live under a rock, I actually watch things.
No, I definitely did doze off there.
There was something that was said that was very disturbing to me. And I'm just going to let you know because I believe in being fair with everybody. The question was asked along the lines, between October of 2023 and the
I feel that,
of
Christina.
the May 15th hearing, was there an attempt by Mr. Harris to correct his license? Here's the part that was disturbing for me, so that you know.
Okay.
Mr. Harris indicated that at some point he had been involved in some accident. And being involved into the accident, that
Just
Well, that's how it ended. Okay.
This is me, in the Rio Grande River, hopping the border.
This woman just robbed.
Okay, hang on. Let's look for another one. What's up, Jessica?
Robbed your boss because she didn't get.
Oops.
This TikToker has destroyed his life with all. Awful videos like this.
Hang on. Damn, nobody's commented still. Damn, dog. Doctor No Sleep. An animated horror show. Yeah, I was looking like at more Atosi videos.
Wait, CBS.
I don't know if I hit a different video or not. Hold on.
This is Jermaine, and he has become slightly infamous on the internet for essentially doing exactly what we saw over and over again.
Hey, rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
And he just went from these countless stupid stunts to then later on pivoting to gambling vlogs. He's essentially lost a decade of his life chasing internet fame in the worst way possible, and his decisions have left him bankrupt with nothing to show for other than hundreds of videos showing a mislead man chasing internet fame. Originally, as you just saw, his claim to fame was getting retail jobs and creating absolute chaos for his fellow employees to clean up. But naturally, that didn't last too long because he ran out of jobs and the internet got bored with it. But when that attention phased out, he became desperate again. And this whole time, he's been vlogging on his YouTube channel. So he then started to share that he is an extreme gambling addict and has jumped from minimum wage job to minimum wage job, but was currently struggling to get a new job. But finally, he got one at Subway. And instead of using that job to provide himself with, a little bit of security while maybe going to community college or doing anything to increase his earning potential, get this. He decided to film a rap music video at the restaurant.
Chance, my $20 loss turned to 50 grand. If you never faced addiction, you won't comprehend.
And to make things worse, this is how he tried to promote it. Excuse me, what are you doing? Buddy, really? But that wasn't it. He had another trick up his sleeve. He tried to get Meek Mill's attention with this.
At Meek Mill. Tell Meek Mill to sign me. At Meek Mill. Let him know. I'm trying to get signed to Dream Chasing. For this Subway. All of this Subway, bro. At Meek Mill, man. Let him know. I'm trying to sign to Dream Chasing, bro.
Talk about destroying your life with, literally zero upside. So, I'm sure the question you have is, did he finally blow up and get his rap career off the ground? Absolutely not. Because let's be real, the only thing you should be rapping in Subway are the subs. Obviously, he was fired and ended up job searching again. Found a new job and continued vlogging his life. And sadly for him, it was going nowhere. He continued gambling aggressively in the worst way possible, and I guess started this whole gambling vlog arc. And this thing is just, it's horrifying to watch. It is brutal. I feel like the only thing positive with this series is it really shows you the real unfiltered experience of a gambling addict. Not some, paid influencer shilling a lifestyle that's funding by gambling referral codes. That's the big difference here. Because the sad reality is, most of these top streamers on, cake promoting gambling sites nonstop, they're essentially funded by addict gamblers like Jermaine. So here's his, first unofficial vlog series where we see him trying to cope with a $200 loss.
At the casino, just lost $200, but I'm about to get some Subway, so
make myself feel a little bit better.
I guess the one common theme is he stuck with Subway regardless of trashing it for content in the past. But hey, something that's infinitely less depressing than this is the nostalgic toy car mats. And a few years back, when I was searching for a backdrop for this channel, I realized you can't get the good original ones anymore. The reason I have this toy car mat behind me is I call myself a low-budget talk show. And all these mainstream talk shows, they have these extremely expensive city skylines as backdrops. And that's not obtainable for me, so my obtainable way of getting a city skyline behind me is the nostalgic toy car mats. But they don't sell the original anymore, so I decided to take inspiration from that and build a company called Mat City, where we take nostalgic toy car mats and bring it to a city near you. So we have New York City, LA, DC, Chicago, Boston, and many more soon to drop alongside of the moon and Mars. Look at that, we got LA here. We also have the moon here as well. We also did a winter rally / snow collection, and Santa's North Pole Village, which is currently available for a limited time of only this December. And then on top of that, we also do mouse mats in all sizes, because as soon as I saw some of our designs on the large mat, I was like, I need my setup to look like this as well. So hey, if you want one, you can grab one at mat.city, which will be in the link in the top of the description down below and in the pinned comment. If you decide to do so, thank you so much, because it really does support the channel. But without further ado, let's continue this absolute downward spiral. Because after losing the $200, he then walks around the casino upset with himself and disgusted that he lost so much money. So instead of quitting or going, all right, that's not for me, maybe I'll come back again next year or something like that, try my luck, like any normal person, he turns this into a vlog series.
What's up, it's Jamani. I'm on my way to the casino. I had $200 and, you know, let's see what happens. I could go with a little two-piece. Nothing serious, $200, but, yeah, I'm gonna make one bet. My first bet is gonna be a $20 bet. If it hits, I'm gonna be $50 in profit. And if I do hit my first bet, I'm gonna cash out and leave and go to the bank. So, just letting y'all know ahead of time.
Oh boy, what do we think happens here? This is a terrible setup. But he then goes to one of the worst machines possible, and that's the dumbest way possible. Not only is he gambling at a casino, but he's also severely reducing his odds of winning with what and how he's playing.
Thank you. Again, if this hits, I'm gonna cash out. That's gonna be $50 profit, and I'm gonna go to the bank. So, let's see what happens. Alright, so about to start playing.
Are we really surprised that happened? But he does hit and goes into an $84 profit. The only problem here is that's not the whole story, because he's clearly overall in a massive net negative.
On that last hit, I profited $84. So that's what that hit was. And again, I came in with $100 bill. So I'm about to deposit this $84 into my bank account, and I'm gonna explain why I'm kind of doing what I'm doing. So as of right now, my bank account is overdrafted $956.38. This probably will get returned by sometime today, but I'm gonna deposit the $84 in my account, and I just, you know what I mean, like I said, I'm a compulsive gambler, bro. I've made so many poor choices in my life, but I'm about to go to the bank right now and deposit money into my account and try to, let's see, I'm trying to see if I could make $1,000 today, but I'm gonna do it slowly.
Oh, dude. So he's trying to turn $200 into $950 to just break even in one day, gambling. But pack it up. Never gamble again. This is just going to siphon so much money out of you. It already has. The amount of money it's taken out of your life is insane. And if you just keep doing this, it's just going to get worse and worse. Because, as expected, in part 2, he lost all $200, with his final bet being a Hail Mary to hit one single number in roulette. So he's really playing against his own odds here.
All right, $10 on 10. If that doesn't hit, that's it. I just lost $200.
Alright, that's it for the vlog. Through the struggles.
So, did he take this as a sign from the universe to pack it up and quit? Absolutely not. I mean, the dude lives his life kind of like that diamond mining meme, because he thinks he's right about to strike gold every single time. Because once he managed to re-up his bank account to zero, not positive, just he broke to zero. He broke even. He immediately goes and overdrafts it again and just continues the same cycle.
My feelings are hurt. I had to overdraft my bank account to go to the casino. I only had $2.89 in my account, and now I just overdrafted, and it's negative $97.11.
Buddy, come on, dude. And again, he loses almost everything in the casino and leaves the casino like this.
I'm leaving the casino. I have about, I think, $19. I'm gonna walk out with $19 just so I don't look that bad.
Dude, you don't look good here. This looks like an absolute nightmare. He is living, I would assume, everyone's nightmare here. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. And this behavior just goes on for over a year, and it just gets so much worse.
Oh my gosh. I can't make this stuff up. This is through the struggles. I literally gambled my braces away. When I think about it, all the money I had within the last 3 months that I gambled and lost, I could have paid off my braces. That's crazy. Well, I made choices. I gotta live with them. Made my bed. And I gotta lay in it. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't think I'm gonna make it out of this struggle. I don't see it happening right now.
I understand he feels completely defeated, but it's still 100% within his control to get out of the struggle. It definitely will not be easy, but it's still very possible. I mean, actually, what would you guys even do? Let's do some groupthink here in the comments. Okay, Benjamin, you're cooked. Your life is absolutely destroyed from your own actions. You're probably in like $70,000 worth of debt, gambling debt. You're not very hireable due to your constant clout chasing over the last 7 years. And, you don't have a lot of motivation in life. Then on top of that, you're still addicted to gambling to the point where you just keep on overdrafting your account and you do even more desperate stuff, which we'll get into later on in this video. So the only thing I can think of that will actually help him is offshore. He needs to be offshore. You can't go to the casino if you're on a boat in the middle of nowhere, right? And I'm talking to like a fishing boat. I'm not saying like go to a cruise liner because they have casinos. He needs a deep sea fishing job. Perks of being on a deep sea fishing boat. Free rent while he's on the boat. High pay. Somewhat interesting days, so he can vlog it for his vlogs. He can keep vlogging. That's what he wants to do. He will also get the camaraderie of the other guys on the boat. I think he really needs that social interaction because he seems extremely isolated in his vlogs. And then, of course, his story will probably be hilarious for some old fishermen. But obviously, I am completely spitballing here as I clearly have zero knowledge of how to get a deep sea fishing job. What I do know is, though, I grew up in a small town in Norway, and some of the crash outs I know in my city, they became deep sea fishermen. And they turned their life around completely. So I'm just going off of what I have seen has worked for other people before. Now, it wasn't gambling problems, it was substance problems, but being out on a boat, isolates you from that. So I think that could actually be helpful. But I don't know, I mean, I'm just trying to think, dude, he is cooked. I am trying to give him a smidge of hope here because it's depressing. I don't want to see someone struggle like this, but I also realize that is life. I mean, this guy is doing all of this to himself. But I feel like it is actually an interesting thought experiment. So out of everyone who's watching my channel here, I mean, just looking at my demographics, we are from all walks of life here, from a whole bunch of different countries. So please let me know in the comments down below what you think his best route would be, because I feel like there'll be some interesting comments. Because see, then we won't only be dunking on him in the comments, we'll actually be a little bit helpful and share some of that Christmas spirit. Because I am actually recording this on Christmas morning before my family gets up, before before I go spend Christmas for them. So, Merry Christmas, guys. So I'm just trying to share some Christmas spirit here because as of right now, things have gotten so bad for this guy that he is constantly opening new credit cards, going to the Apple store, buying a brand new iPad, then he would take this iPad to a pawn shop, pawn it for half of what it's worth, then go back to the casino with that money, lose that money, and then he's out double. It's like he's double hurting himself financially. Like, this is so painful to watch that something needs to happen here. I think we need a fishing boat involved here. He needs to get placed as far away from a casino and or pawn shop as humanly possible. And I think a deep sea fishing boat would be the best alternative for him. Like, it's funny to joke about, but also, like, I can't think of a better option. But, I mean, it's safe to say, if you want to absolutely obliterate your finances, you can just follow Jermaine's guide that he's put out on his YouTube and TikTok channels on how to live his life. Please do not follow his footsteps. If you have any love for yourself, never do that to yourself. Not only to yourself, if you have any love for yourself or your loved ones, don't do that. Because this is just a sure way to completely destroy yourself financially. And emotionally destroy your loved ones who do not want to see you in a position like this. But all of his vlogs are essentially just him complaining about how bad his life is for sympathy, clicks, and donations. Then he does absolutely nothing to improve his life. Like, not too long ago, he even pulled this, like, Meek Mill card again.
At Meek Mill, tell him to save me, bro. I'm in the trenches right now. I promise, I'll stop clout chasing. I don't want to be a heathen, bro. I'm done being a heathen. It's been 5 years and I'm still in the trenches, bro. I can't save myself. Just came back from the casino, lost everything. Yo, Meek, if you see this, bro, save me, bro.
Dude, what is Meek Mill going to do for you? You are the only one that can save yourself, Jermaine. But it's safe to say, like, if he continues down the same path and continues to be stuck in the past, venting to his vlogs that if he did this and this different and his life would be so different if he just didn't do this, he's gonna be stuck forever. Because in reality, what he has to do is he has to say, enough is enough. Like, he needs to ban himself from going to a casino ever again. He can't go. It's not in the cards for him. He cannot gamble in a healthy way. He needs to find any job that will take him, learn any skill or trade that can increase his income potential, so he can return to living a life that's actually pleasant to live. Like, the dude needs to become accountable for his own actions rather than just moan about them on his vlog. And I realize he does this on his vlog because this is a way he gets money. But those vlogs could do without the gambling because that just really sets him back infinitely more than what he makes off of his TikTok. He also just spends so much of his time moaning about getting 0 women. To the point where one of his jobs, he worked at a Motel 6 and he sat at the front desk and he vlogged about how he kept seeing people, you know, bringing women home to this Motel 6 and he was envious of that. He was even envious of the ones paying for it. So it's just like, dude, get your shit together. Take care of yourself physically and financially and get yourself into a position where you can actually take care of someone emotionally and financially. You need to add some value into someone's life or else they're not going to want to be with you. Nobody wants to date a charity case. So I'm thinking here, deep sea fishing. It'll add some dad lore to his life. It'll hopefully sharpen him. Get him as far away from the casinos as possible, make him some money. He lives for free on the boat. He'll be able to pay off his debt, not quick, but like, you know, faster than his current rate. And then the camaraderie. I think like, he needs social interaction in his life. That's like, just watching his vlogs, this dude is isolated, and it seems like his human interaction he gets on literally from the bus or at the casino. And even at the casino, like, he gambles at the freaking, like, tablets. He's not interacting with humans. So he's playing the freaking games that are, like, give you way worse odds as well. Like, I don't know, the whole thing is just a disaster. While many of his actions are laughably stupid, there is definitely some entertainment value there. It's definitely gone on for way too long that it's just depressing at this point, and I really hope he finds some help and actually has the will to want to turn his life around. So hopefully his vlog can end up turning for the better and he doesn't spend the rest of his life essentially being down bad. But if you're a loved one or currently dealing with gambling addiction, please seek help, as your life will be so much better once you break that terrible habit. And obviously you have the mainstream US help number right here, but there's also plenty of other free resources, and I really encourage you getting help if you need it. But if you do have your shit together financially, we've got some cool mats over at Mad.City, baby. Feel free to check them out in the link down below or in the description down below. So I feel bad for that segue, kinda. But other than that, I really hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Thank you guys for a wonderful year. I mean, this has just been phenomenal. I've been doing this full time for probably since 2016, so 8 years now, and I'm very blessed. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful year. I'm excited to just be making infinitely more content next year. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and for those of you guys who don't celebrate, I still wish you guys the best for the new years. This TikTok doctor was just put on blast for stealing $1.5 million from his kids, and this led him to delete a bunch of videos and seemingly vanish, almost like he had something to hide. So, meet Dr. Pampa. He's blown up on TikTok and Instagram in the recent years in the health space. His popular content is essentially, don't consume this product because of this bad thing inside it. And honestly, that's a never-ending goldmine because there's criticism to make about a lot of the popular food products when it comes to how healthy they actually are for you. But because of his wording, he found himself in a potential legal situation with Logan Paul and his drink Prime. And this whole situation stems from this video.
Parents, listen, this is scary. Are your kids drinking this? Class action lawsuit. 3 times the level of forever chemicals, PFAs, found in this. 3 times the level that they consider safe for lifetime exposure is found in this drink. And right now, class action lawsuit, and yet we're still finding it on store shelves. Send the video, share the video. Moms, share it out because we don't want teenage kids. That's who's drinking this, evidently drinking this stuff.
Yeah, so this video got about 10 million views before he deleted it. I'm sure Logan Paul and Prime weren't really a big fan of that video. But what's interesting about this situation is Dr. Pampa is just echoing a lawsuit and what another TikTok lawyer said.
I never thought that Logan Paul and Forever Chemicals would be in the same sentence, but there's actually a class action lawsuit against Prime Energy and Prime Hydration, which are energy drinks and sports drinks that were made by a company called Prime Energy, owned by Logan Paul. And one of the allegations is that Prime Hydration has PFAS and PFOs, forever chemicals, in them. So this is an ongoing lawsuit, and our office was actually recently contacted by a young boy who has leukemia after drinking Prime Hydration, and PFOs and PFAs have been linked to specific types of cancers.
That video is way more concerning for Logan Paul and Prime as he vaguely links Prime with leukemia. He's since deleted that video alongside of the part 2, which I couldn't find a re-upload of, but I did find a video reacting to it by Food Science Babe, who we actually sourced on this channel before during the Pink Sauce saga. And she also gives us a TLDR on the lawsuit.
Not only is there a lawsuit against Logan Paul's company Prime for there being PFOs, which are forever chemicals, in the Prime Hydration drink, but according to the testing done by one of the lawyers for the plaintiff, guess how much PFOs were in the product, in the drink? 3 times the amount that you should have in your lifetime in PFOs from drinking water. In one Prime Hydration drink, they found 3 times the amount of PFOs that you should consume in drinking water in your life.
All right, that's not what that level means. I'll get into that in a second, but first I just want to go through this lawsuit a little bit. So this lawsuit against Prime Hydration was filed in August of 2023, and it's against specifically their grape drink. So this is one in a string of similar lawsuits of beverages that are marketed as healthy and using natural ingredients, and these PFAS chemicals are being found in them, and so that's the main reason for the lawsuit, because these PFAS chemicals are considered to be synthetic and artificial when the marketing behind these products is supposed to be healthy and natural.
She also explains the lawyer's misconceptions here.
The lawsuit also alleges that the amount of PFAS found within the product from the plaintiff's testing is approximately 3 times the recommended lifetime health advisory for drinking water, which is 0.02 parts per trillion. So these EPA health advisories are non-regulatory and non-enforceable. 0.02 parts per trillion for PFAS is referring to a concentration in drinking water. This is not referring to a level that a human can have in a lifetime. It's referring to a concentration in drinking water that if a human were to drink water with that level over a lifetime would likely not result in negative health effects. So this does not mean that in one single grape Prime beverage there is 3 times the amount that a human can have in a lifetime.
So right off the bat, that's just not a good look for the lawyer, but it's about to get a lot worse for him as Logan Paul made a response.
First off, anyone can sue anyone at any time. That does not make the lawsuit true, and in this this case, it is not. There's claims that PFOS or forever chemicals come from plastic. So in this case, they're not talking about the actual drink, the liquid Prime. They're talking about the bottle that Prime is manufactured in. This ain't a rinky-dink operation. We use the top bottle manufacturers in the United States. All of your favorite beverage brands, Coke, Pepsi, Tropicana, Dr. Pepper, they use these companies. If the product is served in plastic, they make a bottle for them. Accordingly, we follow Title 21 for the Code of Regulations for PET and all other types of bottles. The products are manufactured by our company in a manner compliant with all pertinent current good manufacturing practices by the United States Food and Drug Administration. All of our suppliers use GMP facilities.
Logan Paul has really just been on a streak of having very reasonable responses, and it seems like he's going to continue this in this video. Overall, though, there's just so many pros and cons with plastic. You can't really blame Prime using the same bottling companies as the other giants.
Let's say to talk about the drink itself. Here's where the argument really falls apart. Pay attention. According to the testing done by one of the lawyers for the plaintiff, if you saw Goodman or Walter White, brother, because this little study that was conducted by a lawyer is absolute bullshit. They're claiming that Prime has 0.06 ppt parts per trillion. But that's interesting because the EPA says that anything under 1.1 ppt cannot be deemed as reasonably accurate.
Yeah, we are way over my education level here, and probably Logan's as well, as his team likely found all this information for him. So I can really only take his word here, but he ended this video with this.
We're putting out better for you products. Meanwhile, our competitors are on the cusp of getting banned in the United States. The #1 sports drink in the world just had SKUs banned in California for using dyes linked to cancer. That is a fact. It already happened. The difference with us is one person conducted a random study and has provided zero evidence to substantiate any of their claims. Do y'all remember a while back when they said that the FDA was investigating Prime? It never happened. They never called us because we followed every single guideline and regulation. So Tommy, the TikTok lawyer, 4 videos in, man, 4 of those views, get those likes, and get a haircut while you're at it. We'll accept an apology within the next 48 hours, otherwise you're going to be representing yourself in a miserable courtroom for lying about our brand.
And to that, the TikTok lawyer Tommy responded and turned himself into the human embodiment of a lawn chair.
So some of you know when I say some, I mean about 30 million. I did a video about a week ago talking about a class action lawsuit that was filed against Prime Hydration, which is partly owned by Logan Paul. And in that lawsuit, they alleged that there are forever chemicals, PFOS and PFAS, in the Prime Hydration drink. And that video got like over 16 million views. And then several days later, I think yesterday, Logan Paul did a video responding to me that got, I think he's got like 13 million views at this point. So as I've been reflecting and looking at the onslaught of comments that I've gotten, that Logan's gotten, it honestly made me think that I think this might be a good lesson for all of us on social media, that sometimes it's okay to pause, it's okay to reevaluate things, and it's okay to check your position. That doesn't make you weak, that doesn't make you wrong.
Obviously, he doesn't want to get sued by Prime, as it's a massive international corporation now, but he doesn't really leave it at that. He really starts to overcompliment Logan to avoid being sued.
And the truth of the matter is that Logan Paul is a young, greedy entrepreneur, and I respect him because I know, just like he knows, when you're young and you do too well too quick, what happens is you get targets on your back.
Or, you know, launch something called Ding Doink and chill to your audience. But the situation would really be over there, except it's not, because this video is about Dr. Pompa. So remember the video we saw of him earlier saying similar things to the TikTok lawyer? Well, Prime sent him a cease and desist, and instead of stepping back and reevaluating like this guy did, he decided to make a backhanded apology and say that Logan Paul wanted to silence him. So Logan essentially went for his throat.
Alright, let's talk about it. After I corrected the TikTok lawyer with facts debunking this crap, I never thought I'd have to do the same to a hair-colored Instagram doctor. You'd think after this guy already got sentenced to 16 years of probation for stealing $1.4 million from his adopted children's trust fund, true story, he'd stop lying for his financial benefit. And I guess it doesn't surprise me that he calls himself a doctor, but he's really just a chiropractor. A chiropractor whose license has been suspended and is currently considered expired and on probation. So look, obviously we sent this guy cease and desist. I got him to like half apologize, but in the same video, he just doubled down on his bull. Logan Paul from Prime Hydration and Energy Drinks sent me this cease and desist. He was not happy about this video. However, Logan, I do apologize. He's even getting called out and corrected in his own comment section for spreading this information, but now I gotta come on here and expose the guy because he can't tell the difference between a can of Prime Energy and a bottle of Prime Hydration. But Logan, don't shoot the messenger. I was just bringing the message. Hey, don't worry, bro, I'm not gonna shoot you. But Prime is considering suing you for the millions of dollars of damage you caused to make you file for bankruptcy a second time. But you don't know a single thing about what you're claiming, but if I don't want to overdose on self-tanner in my back crack, I'm going straight to you. So look, send the video, share the video, mom, send it out because we don't want our kids being influenced by an Instagram chiropractor who stole $1.4 million from his own children.
Okay, hold up. Yeah, Logan really went for the net. Yeah, there's no coming back for that if that's actually true. So in response, Dr. Pompa, or chiropractor Pompa, deleted all of his videos on the Prime situation. So from what I can tell, he hasn't really responded to Logan any further. So my knee-jerk reaction is, hold up, why? Is he hiding something or does he just not want to get sued? So what did Logan just throw out here in front of tens of millions of people? So there's two big allegations here. Massive TikTok and Instagram doctor influencer, but he's only a chiropractor, and stole $1.5 million from his adopted kids' trust fund. Yeesh, that sounds really bad. Let's start with the first one. Starting off with the social media pages, he is massive on Instagram and pretty big on TikTok. From what I can tell, Logan seems to be accurate about this guy being a chiropractor, but he might not actually even be a chiropractor anymore either. But we'll get into that later on. Going back to his Instagram and TikTok, it seems like his videos are his sales funnels to Pompa Workshop. Whatever it is, it seems to be a sales funnel. He also has something called the Pompa Program, which is a detoxing program, a very high-ticket detoxing program. Well, they also want you to watch a webinar about inflammation and detoxing. It then seems like it leads the customer to a place they can order some testing for a little over $100. Then this turns into another upsell for full-on detoxing program that costs thousands of dollars, anywhere from $6,000 to $12,000 to $15,000. And I found out all this is because when I googled the Pompa Program, the Better Business Bureau page came up, and that's just flooded with terrible reviews. So all you can really do here is take this with a pinch of salt as we are reacting to this customer's alleged experience. So the first review here is, I purchased 2 urine tests from Dr. Blank for me and my daughter. We took a very extensive assessment and had a Zoom meeting with one of the advisors. After speaking to this individual for over an hour, she proceeds to tell me that if I was really serious about getting started on this program, I needed to hand over $11,000 that day. She even lightly suggested selling my car or asking family members if I could borrow the money to pay her. It was very strange and uncomfortable for me. She even had me apply for a credit card, but thankfully I was denied because once we got off the call, I realized how bizarre that conversation was, and I was glad I didn't hand over any of my money to her. She said she would call me the following week to see if I'd found a way to get the money, but I haven't heard from her since. If this is true, that is some aggressive sales training going on. What is going on there? Oh, hey, if you want this detox program, $11,000 here. If you can't afford it, maybe sell your car. What? That is so bizarre. No way is that real. Did a consultation with them and my wife today. Wanted to inform everyone how much of a scam this company really is. My wife did her sample trying to get a thyroid issue corrected, but they put this big elaborate show and tell when it came down to it, as the cost was $7,000 to $9,000. Seemed a bit high, but willing to consider it if it helps her. I wanted to research a little bit about their program, and he would not tell me anything about it or how it works. He wanted me to put a $2,000 deposit up front, non-refundable, and as soon as I asked about the refunding money, if the system does not work, he said we needed to go through the whole program and spend a whole amount of money before we were able to seek any kind of refund. But if we did not pay the $2,000 today, we would not have a spot in the line anymore, and we could not come back to the table. Not allowed. As we were on a Zoom
phone call, I researched the company and found this, how they were not refunding anyone's money, and they were not returning any phone calls to anyone. I do believe this may work for someone, but please beware. I find this company to be a scam and nothing more. That is super, super weird. And there's so many of them. This program causes fear and is pushing about how to open credit cards to pay for the $9,000 detox program. So you have 3 comments in a row basically saying, oh, they either told us to sell a car or open a new credit card to afford this program. What? That just sounds incredibly predatory. The urine test sold to me was the same exact result for multiple people that took it. They're not sick. I don't believe in the accuracy of the test. They tried to convince me to get a credit card even when I stated I didn't have income currently, assuring me if I didn't get help, I'd end up worse. This sales tactic is not okay. I want my money refunded. And there's just pages of reviews like this about their company on BBB.org. I'm trying to find a single positive review on their BBB. To be fair though, I'm assuming like you don't go to BBB.org to write a positive experience, or do you? I don't know. There's another comment here saying, this test is very vague and the treatment process for the program was never discussed and I cannot afford upwards of $8,000 as a single mom. This is a man with a bachelor's degree calling himself a doctor. Refund needed. There's just so many people begging for refunds on this page. It's insane. You got 9 pages of reviews like this dating back to 2021, with the first one being misleading or predatory practices, paid over $8,000 for an entire 6-month program, upfront in full in order to get 20% off. Within the first week of the program, while watching the first video and hearing how imperative it is to maintain ketosis from Dr. P, he went on to say that the needed testing strips weren't provided with cost of the program. Upon going to recommended site, it added an extra $160 for my wife and I per month, or approximately an extra $1,000 of added costs. These costs were not disclosed, and I immediately wondered what other undisclosed costs would be coming in the days and weeks ahead. I immediately lost confidence in the product and felt like this wasn't an honest company. Trying to cancel has been extremely difficult. I've had to text evidence saying that they would refund me, but they were slow to respond. So I disputed the claim only to have them recharge me 25% cost, saying I was after the 48-hour cancel policy. I canceled as soon as undisclosed costs were found out. Logan Paul is really lucky that people who seem to be a bit worse than him are calling him out, because that's really making him look good in the situation. I did some more searching because I felt like I accidentally fell down this rabbit hole, and I found an ex-employee or an alleged ex-employee who came onto Reddit to say, I used to work there, so let me give you and anyone else wanting to know about the program all the details. The test that you mentioned is a urine test that simply checks for inflammation. Nearly everyone who takes the test will have it come back pretty dark. What you're actually paying for is a consultation with a sales rep who is usually not very qualified and not very knowledgeable on what they're selling or the rules of the program. Take everything they say with a grain of salt. At the time of writing this, the program costs almost $9,000 for one person, less if you pay it all up front. What you're paying for is supplements, 6 coaching calls, a portal with lots of information about many things outside the program, and support throughout the 5 months you're in the program via live videos with Dr. P and other coaches, as well as being able to talk to others in the program. Is it all worth $9,000? That's up to you to decide. Is the program itself legit and does it work? I think so. I did it myself, but my problems were very minor in comparison to most people who joined. And the supplements were an entirely different formula then than what they are now. Okay, that's interesting. Keep in mind though, that detox is not fun. And again, that's coming from someone who didn't have a lot of health problems when starting. More problems equals worse detox experience. A lot of people benefit, but a lot of people have extreme adverse reactions as well. Now, is it legit as in is it scam? That's up to interpretation based on how much you benefit at the end of it. But let's assume that you want to back out at any point after signing out. You will not get the majority of your investment back. It doesn't matter the reason. The company / Dr. P claim to be based in Christian faith and adhere by these awesome core values. But the only way to see them act in a Christian manner if you want to leave the program is to threaten legal action. Dr. Pompa has been involved in numerous lawsuits. Most are now buried under ads and fake 5-star reviews. I can vouch that employees were getting paid at one point to write 5-star reviews. Or he utilizes the fact that most people don't know of his previous businesses that were sued in the past. He and his family go to church, yes, so they're not truly Christian. I really believe that they are severely mentally ill, and don't think that many of their beliefs or practices or how they treat others are wrong. All this being said, could the program work for you? Absolutely. Is it a guarantee? Definitely not. If you have strong morals or values, I recommend finding someone else to work with, or even just using the free resources that Dr. P has on his YouTube. He got his license taken away, but he is very knowledgeable about health, albeit extreme at times. If you're willing to put morals to the side and you're okay with possibly losing almost 10 grand to experiment, I'd say it may be worth to give the program a shot. Okay, wait, so did he lose his chiropractor license? Also, this is alleged. This is an anonymous user posting on Reddit as an ex-employee. We can really only take this with a pinch of salt. Definitely fascinating, and it in a way makes sense when you look at all the BBB reviews. Personally, I wouldn't be paying as much for health services from someone who's apparently a chiropractor or may even not be a chiropractor. But it's safe to say all this is fascinating. I mean, what kind of rabbit hole did we accidentally fall down today? All I was trying to do was try to figure out if Logan's statements of him were true or not. And speaking of his statements, the other statement that Logan alleged that he stole $1.5 million from his kids. I guess we'll dive into that as well. So again, Dr. Pompa has not officially responded to Logan as of recording this video, but he did respond to this in a video 3 years ago. Although I don't know if they're allegations anymore, as they did plead guilty and get probation for this. We're the Pompa family, and we have one amazing story, but the purpose of this video is to tell our whole story, because unfortunately, we had part of our story told in newspapers. And fake news, well, it really has caused a lot of grief in our family, and we really never thought we'd have to tell this part of the story. Is it fake news if they pleaded guilty? Okay, actually, for context, let's check out this fake news first. A local couple has pleaded guilty to stealing more than $1 million from their adopted children's trust fund. The twins witnessed their father do the worst possible things to their mother than himself. Yeah, well, that is scarring. I did not expect to read that. 9 years later, their adopted parents, 46-year-old Daniel Pompa and his wife, 44-year-old Marilee Pompa, pleaded guilty to stealing $1.5 million from the twins' trust fund. That is beyond devastating. I can't even imagine how to operate as a human being after going through that. So first that happens, then your new parents rob the trust fund. That is absolutely insane. $1.5 million invested conservatively, that would be like, I think it like doubles every 14 years, and it's like a 5% return. So they let that compound. That is set for life money for these twins. So there's more to the story. Their grandmother, Olivia Phelps, is devastated. 2 orphan grieving children, taking everything that their parents worked so hard for and spending it all themselves. She said the Pompas went on a wild spending spree, first buying $1 million house, then spending $458,000 to renovate a condo in Seven Springs, donating $110,000 to Northway Christian, and spending $22,000 on 2 home theater systems. This is in addition to $26,000 in payments on a Mercedes-Benz, $3,000 on furs, $1,000 donation, and $500 on a brass monkey toilet paper holder. Wait, what? Why did they include that? The twins are now 16. Phillips says the Pompas won't let her see her children because they blame her for their legal troubles. She has a message for her grandchildren. We miss you very much, she said. The Pompas have been ordered to serve 16 years of probation and pay restitution. They're still living in a Seven Springs condo and still have custody of the twins. So I'm trying to understand how this can be referred to as fake news. It seems like they just kind of laid out what was in the lawsuit and added an interview with the grandmother. I guess this is the grandmother's side of the story, so let's hear some of theirs. Chiropractor steals from orphans. Doctor and wife steal from orphans trust, whatever the headlines read at the time, I don't know. But when I read those articles, I said, man, I don't like this person or this family. And so with that, today's goal is to tell the rest of the story. And I have to speak for all of us and say, I really don't believe that I thought we'd ever have to tell the rest of the story. But unfortunately, so many people read that and, like I would, think, gosh, these are horrible, horrible people. It doesn't sound good. It really does not sound good. Nor does it look good that you pled guilty. Because a family member who obviously wasn't gifted the children, was not given custody, took some issue. We ended up in that court battle that you read about. You know, I mean, when I read it, it looked bad. You can make things look bad. I mean, it looked like we took the trust money from these orphans and spent it. But everything that was in that article, well, that was my bank account. The thing that we did wrong, I would never undo. because we were just spending the money they were giving us as a family, but in the end, that was not good enough for the courts. It ended up there, obviously, because, of this dispute.
What? I'm assuming that he's talking about the grandmother here that we just read about in the article, but to give him the benefit of the doubt, the twins, they are sitting beside him. They're adults now, so if he was that terrible, they probably wouldn't be sitting beside him covering for him. But there's just something about this video that just feels extremely off, because there's like one point the son starts shilling the product, or his product, that we briefly covered earlier.
All 7 of us, we have now, I think the legacy now that you kids are going to take much higher than I could ever. But it's a mission that really this world needs. So many people crying out for answers, and I believe we have a very unique one.
If you're watching this, chances are you're seeing if Dr. Conklin might be able to help you, and you've gotten hope. But this is what he's doing is so monumental for our generation. It's something that is going to carry on, and how people are going to get their lives back from these bizarre and unexplainable conditions. It's no wonder that there's so many attacks on our family because of what we're doing.
I believe that's the case.
Am I the only one that's getting a little bit of a cold vibe here? This is just my opinion, but something feels really off.
Obviously, if you read the article, we settled out of court for everything that we ever got from the trust and more because of the housing.
And I'll just say something there for a second. If you were a child that had just lost their parents and you were 7 years old, literally elementary school, you would not want to be put in a family and have separate paychecks. Like, it just wasn't like that. Dad knew that in his heart. He knew I need to treat these 2 children as if they were my own. Combine, whatever it is I was given to support them in my own income and boom.
They literally narrowed down a certain amount of money that they could prove that wasn't spent exactly on your kids. Right. That right there made me guilty. My attorney was always telling me that. It's like, and I can't stand up and say, no, every dollar was spent on.
So, I was like, okay, we're guilty, let's just move on. Right. Literally got to the point where we're like, we're done, let's just move on. Become a family.
And I said, it was part of the promise, that God will bless it tenfold because he had a bigger vision.
Yeah, it was just money.
Yeah.
It was the brass monkey toilet paper holder that got him. Either way, though, the parents pleaded guilty. So I guess Logan's statement is technically true, but it doesn't seem like the twins are bothered by it. There were a few comments on this video that were pretty interesting, though. Like, one of the ones that I saw was, anyone who wishes to know the legal facts and not his misrepresentation should read the court hearing list line. Like how he illegally looted the $1.4 million trust fund set up solely for the benefit of the twins and not him and his wife, cousins to the twins. They spent the entire trust fund on a lavish lifestyle for themselves and their children, justifying it to themselves by saying that the twins enjoyed some of the benefits from the lavish lifestyle, even though the money for their long-term futures were spent by him and his wife. The facts presented in the hearing were so overwhelming that he and his wife both pleaded guilty to the charges to avoid an open trial, where instead of the probation they were given, they most likely would have gone to prison. They were ordered to repay the trust fund. They agreed to do that and filed bankruptcy to avoid doing so. Well, that's true. That's absolute insane. But on the flip side, there's also a bunch of comments on this video claiming that he helped them. So it's safe to say there's a mixed bag of reactions to this man. Some either really love him, or others are really not a big fan. But it seems like Logan Paul's been picking his opponents very well recently, as he's actually been coming out looking better in the last few situations. Didn't go like the crypto zoo though. They haven't really been properly addressed. So I guess that was the story. Now a TikTok doctor came at Prime with some inaccurate claims and ended up being put on blast for stealing over $1 million from his kids. So on the bright side, at least he didn't steal like $40,000 from his church and then blow it on Candy Crush like this priest did. So you can check out that video here because it is also absolutely insane. Other than that, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.
So I've had a couple idiots comment on my video and say that I've lost the case. I haven't lost the case. It's still ongoing, so don't listen to these really idiotic YouTubers.
Well, that didn't age well, but this is a self-proclaimed TikTok psychic, and what she did on TikTok will change her life forever, because on November of 2022, a massive tragedy happened involving students from the University of Idaho. This became our TikTok psychic's moment to essentially ruin her own life. How? Well, by falsely accusing a professor, claiming that she had an affair with one of these students and was behind the tragedy.
I did a reading when I saw Rebecca Schofield on the history department's page on Rebecca Schofield and her connection. I also did readings on some of the other people and their connection. What came out on their reading is how they responded to the crimes and how they were feeling about it. What came out in Rebecca Schofield's reading was how she implemented it, how she planned it, and why.
Why would she do this? We still don't know, because it doesn't make sense. The only conclusion I can really think of is attention, because she claims she's a psychic and that she solves crimes. But now, in reality, the court just deemed all this to be slander, and she's essentially lost everything in court. And she was given so many outs, but refused to take any of them and continued to double down over and over again when she received a cease and desist.
Like, I have physical evidence against Rebecca Schofield that validates everything that I've said about her, but I can't speak on it now because it has to wait for court. So hopefully court doesn't take too long.
That response is just so wild because it doesn't make sense. If you really have all this evidence and you're on this mission to expose the truth, why are you not sharing it with the world? Because you're being sued either way. But then to just make things even worse for herself, she follows up with these videos when the professor actually sues her.
I've been against people, big and small corporations and giants and systemic policies and racism in one. They all regret coming against me. All of them. Now Rebecca is going to be added to that list of regretful people. I haven't been served yet, but I'm actually gleaming with excitement. I am going to immediately start planning because I cannot wait to present my ideas in court regarding Rebecca Schofield and her role in the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students.
As the story plays out, we realize that she's all bark and zero bite. But if the situation could be even more insane, she decides to represent herself in court. Clearly,
She's not a lawyer, so she was just absolutely doomed from the start. Ended up missing deadlines, which technically should have lost her the case because she didn't respond to the request of admission, which means the professor technically admitted to all the allegations. And to catch you guys up with all those, I'll have myself from the past explain those. And that is, admit that you have stated publicly that Rebecca Schofield had an affair with Kaylee. 2, admit that you have stated publicly that Rebecca Schofield was involved with what happened to the victims. 3, admit that plaintiff did not have an affair with Kaylee. My understanding is plaintiff is Rebecca Schofield here. 4, admit the plaintiff was not involved with the Kaylee and the other victims. 5, admit the only basis of your statement that plaintiff had an affair with Kaylee is your spiritual research, intuition, and instincts. So I can't believe this is a real case. You would think this is a parody, but it's real because we're reading it together here. 6, admit that the only basis of your statement the plaintiff was involved with the of all the victims is your spiritual research, intuition, and instincts. 7, admit that you've never been to Moscow, Idaho. 8, admit that you've never been to the state of Idaho. 9, admit that you're not aware of any physical evidence linking plaintiffs to the 10, admit that you're not aware of any physical evidence showing the plaintiff had an affair with Kaylee. 11, admit that you never said plaintiff communicated with Brian C. Koberger about the until Mr. Koberger was arrested on or about December 30th, 2022. So she really was just clout chasing throughout this entire thing. This is such a brain dead grift on the TikTok psychics part, because I mean, like, when updates happen to the case, she then did like psychic readings, I guess, and then she was like, oh, she was communicating with Mr. Koberger. Okay, well, good thing you said that after they arrested the guy. 12, admit that you've never said plaintiff had access to a white Hyundai Elantra until after law enforcement publicly stated they were looking for information about a white Hyundai Elantra in relation to the on or about December 7th, 2022. 13, admit that you've never communicated with Jack. That is a messed up one, because I think I covered this in the first video I ever made on this situation. So here, Jack, if I remember correctly, is one of the close friends of one of the victims. This egotistical, moronic TikTok psychic decided to make a whole story claiming that this professor somehow forced Jack to go through with this horrific action. 14, admit that you have never communicated with Brian C. Koberger. That's the guy who's currently arrested for it, who they believe did this. But skipping through this a little bit, you have 21, admit that you have no written information showing the plaintiff ever met Jack. This is what I was talking about earlier, where she was claiming that the professor forced Jack to do the unthinkable. It's so wild. I mean, the whole thing is just so disgusting. I'm happy the professor is about to get justice as well. 22, admit that you've never received any information orally from another human being showing that plaintiff ever met Jack. 23, admit that you received and read a cease and desist letter from Stoll Reeves LLP dated, she basically proved that by posting this video.
I'm about to put this demand letter Rebecca Schofield attorney sent me by the tissue so I can wipe my with it.
And then the next are just like admitting to receiving a whole series of cease and desists. And then 30 is admit that you became aware of the press release describing the request for admission. You continue to state that the plaintiff was involved with the... So essentially the police put out a statement saying, hey, we have no evidence that this professor did this. So she saw that and just continued making video upon video, still claiming the professor did this. But the judge seemed to be somewhat lenient with her and let her respond late. So the TikTok psychic decided to come back on her high horse.
I think this is how y'all want me to feel about me winning that $75,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna win. Oh my God. Rebecca is suing me.
But this lawsuit quickly humbled her, as she realized that she would actually have real consequences here.
I need to stop asking me about this lawsuit. It should not even have been allowed. First of all, for multiple reasons. But for the legal reason was because it's the improper venue. I'm not an Idaho resident, so I should not be sued. Then they got the nerve to not allow pro se clients to e-file. Meanwhile, so her attorneys are e-filing documents. If I want to file a document, I got to fly to Idaho or mail it in and hope they get it.
And things got so bad for her, she considered to flee the country.
I would like to go to Bali, get myself together, and just enjoy life for like a few months.
But then I guess she changed her mind, decided that she was actually going to speedrun becoming a lawyer and win this case.
If you see, there's a lot of videos about the Ford University of Idaho students and who they think did it. But none of them are in court because nobody was threatened by them. I'm in court because I told the truth.
Clearly that didn't work out for her. For some reason, this woman just couldn't stop doubling down, and that came back to bite her. apart. Because who would have known that tarot cards don't really hold up too well in court? I don't know how your decision-making skills fumble this hard, because I feel like even a 7th grader could have easily realized this is a very bad idea. But she also tried to subpoena the professor's lawyer to testify against her own client. So it's safe to say she's not really firing on all cylinders here. Oh, and I can't forget, she threatened to sue Marky and I for just covering her moronic actions.
I'm going to sue. As soon as I can get some of these other things cleared out, I am suing everybody who defamed me on this platform, YouTube. Marquis, Tozy. I'm sure there's a way for them to be sued for what they've done. Everybody who defamed me is getting sued.
But here we are. The judge has made a decision. So shout out Madcaster for sending over the memorandum decision and order for this trial, and I'm happy he's feeling better because he had me worried for a minute. So here's the memorandum decision and order documents. So to go through what was confirmed to be defamation, on November 25th, 2022, the defendant, who is the TikTok psychic, Ashley, posted a TikTok video highlighting a University of Idaho policy that Rebecca Schofield was so worried about being caught violating if anyone found out about a potential relationship with Kaylee. However, considering they were broken up, there was really nothing to worry about. That's why she was worried about just losing the respect. On November 26, 2022, defendant posted a TikTok video stating that plaintiff partnered to kill the 4 University of Idaho college students. On November 28, 2022, defendant posted a TikTok video stated that I don't care what y'all say, and Rebecca Schofield killed Kaylee and all the other victims. Rebecca was the one to initiate the plan and hired another one of Kaylee's friends, Jack, who we covered earlier. On November 28, 2022, defendant posted a TikTok video rhetorically asking what KG did that plaintiff felt was so bad that she had to order the murder and the murder of the 3 other University of Idaho college students before taking a look into Rebecca Schofield and Kaylee's connection, and stating that they partied together, that plaintiff paid for KG's automobile and travel expenses, and that plaintiff makes this quick impulsive decision to have them killed, which ultimately ended up being all 4 of the University of Idaho students. This is just so insane to read. The fact that the TikTok psychic went out there and posted this with the only proof being my psychic abilities and intuition. What a selfish thing to post as well. Like, this is just insane. On December 1st, 2022, defendant posted a TikTok video stating that Rebecca Schofield isn't remorseful for ordering the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students, but instead worried about her name, her accomplishments, worried about her possessions, worried about people finding out who she really is, her real character, worried about her loss of accomplishments, worried about going to jail, losing everything that she worked so hard for, worried about corruption and treason, not worried about the lives that were taken. On December 2nd, 2022, the TikTok psychic posted a TikTok video stating that Rebecca Schofield is going to prison for the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students, whether you like it or not. What the? On November 5th, 2022, defendant posted a TikTok video stating that Rebecca Schofield was being a sugar mama to KG, giving her money. KG saw this as an opportunity to get ahead. She had limited resources, and this was an opportunity. And also, it was like an experience. All of this just sounds like an insane Wattpad story. Like, this is just spiraled so far out of control. I mean, it spiraled out of control just with the first TikTok video, but the fact that she just kept going really shows she's not firing in all cylinders. And this is before she even got sued. So, oh man. Rebecca liked KG. She made her feel young and vibrant, and it also was an opportunity for her to balance her needs for a woman. But she may have been pushing too hard because KG needed a break and some time to herself. She just needed to clear her mind. Rebecca Schofield just needed to take this time to slow down and appreciate what she has. During this time, KG looked like she was shining, successful. Other people are noticing. She may have even been shopping. But during the break, Rebecca Schofield was nervous and had anxiety, was worried about being caught. Thought KG was going to backstab her. And that's when she decided to plan her. If only this was a completely fictional story, not even based on real people, that would be fine. Because if she's clearly writing fiction, why isn't she just writing it about fictional people? Why is she using a tragedy to literally clout chase? Like, this is just, it's so disgusting. She then started to look for a team. Bro, it's like the Avengers of defamation over here. On December 5th, 2022, defendant posted a TikTok video stating that plaintiff, KG's relationship, would have been something like a sugar mom. Made her feel like a kid again, very youthful energy. She did something for her. She helped her balance her needs, because otherwise, that specific need that she had for a woman wasn't being taken care of. KG had limited resources. She wanted to help her friends, but she felt like, I have to help myself first before I can help anyone else. So she made a decision that she felt was right for her. So Rebecca Schofield was giving her money and offering her money, and KG was really close to MM. So she opened up to her and told her about the money that she was getting from Rebecca. But the relationship didn't get a chance to start. The money came first. KG looked at it like an experiment, but it became too much. So not only is she slandering this professor, she's also just slandering all of these victims of this tragedy. On December 13th, 2022, the defendant, the TikTok psychic, posted a TikTok video including plaintiff's cease and desist letter stating that Rebecca Schofield's attorney, Wendy J. Olson, sent me a demand letter to remove TikToks with false statements. I made no false statements. Kiss my ass. And I don't have to listen to this demand letter because it's claiming that I'm making false statements. And I'm not making false statements. What I'm saying is true. If they really think I'm making false statements, they would need to file an actual legal document in federal court or in court in my county asking me to remove it. A judge would then determine if I need to remove it. That way an investigation could be had determining the truth or falsity of these statements. She dug her own grave with this. On February 8th, 2023, defendant posted a YouTube video detailing, from the beginning, her narrative of the plaintiff's intimate relationship with KG and eventual involvement in the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students, including how plaintiff has pictures, videos, messages during the nights of the murder. On June 8th, 2023, a YouTube video of defendant's interviews with the online program Nerd Report was posted. There, defendant described how she uses her psychic gifts to solve mysteries, and to the end, how plaintiff orchestrated the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students, including how plaintiff connected with Koberger on the day of the murders on a whim. See, what's really sad about this as well is, there was no mention of Koberger until after they arrested him. So the TikTok psychic is really just freestyling a defamation case right here. On October 14th, 2023, defendant posted a YouTube video criticizing plaintiff's counsel, as well as the court, for wanting to conceal the truth about plaintiff and the 4 students' murders. There, in the context of this action, plaintiff stated that she is dealing with criminals, dealing with a murderer who ordered the execution of the 4 students, so quadruple homicide murderer, and that I am in court because I told the truth, and that person, Schofield, is threatened by me and all the things I say. So anyway, I tell the truth. Yes, I can say what I said because I was telling the truth. This is so bad. This is such a train wreck. By repeatedly accusing the plaintiff of an affair with a student, then ordering the murder of the 4 students to cover up the affair, defendant communicated information to others that was defamatory. Indeed, these statements are defamatory per se, meaning they are actionable without proof of special damages. Critically, in response, defendant does not dispute that she communicated statements about plaintiffs to others, or that these statements, if false, are defamatory. Rather, she argues, as she always has, that her statements about plaintiff's involvement with KG and the murders themselves are true. Gilliard has consistently persisted that the statements she made regarding Schofield's role of the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students are substantially true. Gilliard adamantly states that the statements that she made about plaintiff are substantially true. In other words, it is legally true that Schofield hired an unexpected hitman to commit the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students, and that it is legally true that Schofield had an affair with KG. Defendant therefore asserts that it is plaintiff's burden to prove that her statements about plaintiff on her social media postings are false, and that plaintiff has not satisfied this burden on summary judgment. So here, Ashley is claiming Schofield has not proven the statements Gilliard made about her are false. Schofield has the burden of proof and has not submitted convincing evidence that the statement Gilliard made are false. Plaintiff must prove that the alleged defamatory statements are false. Plaintiff disagrees that this is her burden to prove falsity, countering that this is the defendant's burden to prove that her statements are true. This must be such a weird case to work, because this is textbook insanity. You are dealing with insanity here. And clearly, it's extremely difficult to reason with insanity. And then to skip a whole bunch of pages, TLDR, they're saying, hey, TikTok psychic, you actually need proof of what you're claiming. To begin, plaintiff states there is no uncertain terms that defendant's statements are false. She was never in a romantic relationship with KG. She was not involved in the murders of the 4 University of Idaho students. She never met any of the murdered students. She never taught any of the murdered students. She did not personally know any of the murdered students, and she was in Portland, Oregon at the time of the murders. Moreover, in response to plaintiff's subpoena, the University of Idaho confirmed that there is no records of the murdered students ever being enrolled in a class taught by plaintiff. Any investigation into plaintiff having an inappropriate relationship with KG or any investigation into plaintiff's involvement with the murders. So the TikTok psychic actually subpoenaed the school. What a mess. And for what? Where is the upside of this? Like, the University of Idaho responding to defendant's subpoena and stating they have no records of any existing deleted communications between plaintiff and murdered students, including KG or Mr. Koberger. Finally, there is no indication that plaintiff is or has ever been even remotely considered a suspect of the murders. December 27, 2022, the statement of the Moscow Police Department. At this time of the investigation, detectives do not believe the female associate professor and chair of the history department at the University of Idaho suing a TikTok user for defamation is involved with this crime. To be sure, Mr. Koberger was arrested and has been charged with the murders. This is powerful evidence at the summary judgment stage. It not only substantiates plaintiff's argument that defendant's statements about her are false, it also highlights the complete lack of any corroborating support for defendant's statements. In this way, plaintiff has sufficiently demonstrated the absence of any genuine issue of material fact relating to the falsity of defendant's statements about her. This shifts the burden to the defendant to dispute that any claim by setting forth facts showing that there are genuine issue for trial relating to whether her statements about plaintiff are actually true. In that regard, defendant may not rely on denials in the pleadings, but must also produce specific evidence through affidavits or admissionable discovery material to show that the dispute exists. Except the only support for defendant's statements about the plaintiff is the defendant's spiritual intuition into first using intuitive tarot card readings led her to plaintiff. This is a real court document. This is real. It's so bizarre. This must be such a wild trip to be defamed in this way and to be forced to spend a year of your life fighting an insane person in court who's claiming you've done everything that you absolutely haven't done. And every time you're like, hey, I didn't do this, where's your proof? They just go, tarot cards. I'm a psychic, I know this. And they just keep doubling down and they won't give any leeway. Like, that must be so bizarre. What an absolute nightmare. I'm surprised things took this long because it was pretty obvious from the start that Ashley's statements were defamatory. Gilliard used her claircognizant abilities to gather all the pieces to the puzzle of what happened to the 4 students and why. She became very passionate and touched by their stories as told by the intuitive tarot card readings and their social media footprint. An intuitive tarot card reading revealed that Schofield would get away with the murder. If it wasn't for Gilliard at the time, Gilliard did not know how that would happen. But she decided to continue to seek the truth regarding the murder of the 4 students and to advocate on their behalf, confirming that with discovery closed, defendant had no other evidence of plaintiff's involvement in the murders or any relationship with KG beside her tarot card readings. This is not enough to create a genuine dispute of material fact. To be admissible, defendants lay witness testimony concerning plaintiff's alleged conduct surrounding the 4 students' murders must be rationally based on defendant's perception and helpful to the fact finder. An opinion that is rationally based on a witness perception, whereas based upon personal observation and recollection of concrete facts. TLDR, tarot cards ain't cutting it, bro. As a result, defendant's psychic intuition without more cannot establish a genuine dispute of material facts to oppose plaintiff's summary judgment efforts. Plaintiff established a reasonable likelihood of proving by clear and convincing evidence that defendant's conduct in accusing plaintiff of an affair with a student before ordering the students and the 3 other students' murders was oppressive, fraudulent, malicious, and or outrageous. As discussed above, those statements are defamatory as a matter of law and therefore represent the foundational set of bad acts. Further, those statements were based only on defendant's spiritual intuition about the murders. There was never any objective basis to believe that plaintiff did the things that defendant publicly and repeatedly claimed she did. And while defendant eventually took her theory about plaintiff's involvement about the murders to law enforcement, she did so only after ignoring plaintiff's cease and desist letters and going public with her claims on social media. That is crazy as well. So she's actually claiming, oh, I had to do this because I have to help the police. But she only went to the police after they served her with a cease and desist. Everything about this is just clout chasing. And it's like such a bizarre thing to clout chase for as well. Who clout chases on a tragedy? And it's not only just clout chasing of a tragedy, this is falsely accusing someone of murder to clout chase on a tragedy and making up a full-on Wattpad fanfic around the whole thing. It is textbook insanity. Defendant admitting that she received and read plaintiff's cease and desist letters and continued posting statements about plaintiff. Critically, defendant's social media's postings continued even after she learned from the Moscow Police Department that plaintiff was not a suspect in the murders, and after Mr. Koberger had been arrested for and charged with the same. Defendant admitting that she received and read the Moscow Police Department's press release and continued posting statements about plaintiff. These circumstances combined to demonstrate that defendant's social media postings were primarily self-serving, motivated by online viral attention, and made with an extremely harmful state of mind given the nature of the statements about the plaintiff. Plaintiff's motion for leave to amend complaint and add punitive damages is granted. Whether defendant actually acted with such a harmful state of mind to support an award of punitive damages is therefore a question for the jury, and not a subject of this memorandum decision and order. Based on foregoing, it is hereby ordered that plaintiff's amend motion for partial summary judgment is granted on the issue of liability only. And plaintiff's motion for leave to amend a complaint and add punitive damages is granted. And we got it stamped by the judge here. So it's official. The TikTok psychic has lost her court case. The only thing we're waiting for now is for a jury to decide how much she owes Rebecca Schofield. Odds are it's going to be a sizable amount because she turned this professor's life upside down for over a year. But again, shout out to Mad Cat. So if you want to see a real lawyer break all this down, you can go to his video, which I'll link right here. But at least the TikTok psychic didn't break into a fast food place and pour ice into a hot fryer like this TikTok prankster did. And you can check out that story here as well because this is just absolutely insane. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. This IRL streamer is now reportedly facing up to 29 years in prison and has just had his passport removed by the Korean police, as they're currently investigating him for a whole laundry list of felonies. And this is all after the Korean public was essentially hunting him for sport for a whole week. So it's safe to say this moron of an IRL streamer that we've been covering for a little bit over a year heavily regrets bringing his clown show to Korea. The whole reason this guy is known is he essentially goes to countries that are famous for being extremely high-trust societies. So in return, they are tolerant and nice to his antics. He then tries to push the boundaries as far as he can, thinking that he'll get away with basically anything. So he plays this game of being an absolute burden to society until the police show up and suddenly he didn't do anything wrong. And if they even try to give him the slightest amount of punishment, he cries about how unfair they are towards him. We've seen him test the limits in both Japan and Israel, and both places he ended up finding out and fleeing the countries. In Japan, he was beat up multiple times and ended up spending a little bit over 3 months in jail. And in Israel, he was detained by police and followed around by them for the most of his stay, until he decided to flee before he was arrested for a longer period of time. Over the past few weeks, though, he decided to go to Korea, and this has all happened again. But the big difference between Korea and the other countries is he was way more reckless and disrespectful simply because I guess he thought he could get away with it there. Unfortunately for the streamer, though, this was absolutely not the case, because just looking at the whole laundry list of felonies he's facing, he could actually be going away for up to 29 years if the judge really decides to put their foot down on him. And I mean, hey, if they don't, he's made it extremely clear that he will just continue this behavior.
I just don't get it. Bro. Like, you're gonna come on to me, bro. Why are you being racist to other people in other countries? Why are you bullying people in other countries? For money, like, for clout. I've said it many times. I don't give a. I have no morals. I'm a sociopath. I don't give a at all. Like, period. Like, put this in your next YouTube documentary. I don't give a. Like, I care about nobody but my self.
So as we covered in my last couple of videos on the situation of him in Korea, a lot has happened revolving him in Korea. To give a quick and shortened list to catch you up to speed, as soon as he arrived, he immediately started disrespecting the culture, which included harassing countless women, interrupting a concert by going on stage, buying a fish and intentionally leaving it out in the sun, and then walking around all day so it became absolutely disgusting. Then bringing it around and shoving it in people's faces on the public transportation for content. He was then throwing food and screaming inside of a 7-Eleven, and when an elder store clerk begged him to stop, he cursed her out, which is now one of the main things he actually got into trouble for. But the other large incident was him finding these comfort lady statues that exist for this reason, and he decided to then go and grope them and pour baby oil all over them, then undressed himself and started dancing on them. It's just a sad and pathetic attempt for attention, but little did he know he would actually indirectly create this large community in Korea to literally hunt him for sport. But his first interaction after this situation that we covered with him and the police was fairly calm.
유튜브 why? 신고 들어왔어. 112 신고. I don't know. 끄라고. You know, go. 끄라고요. Call somebody. I don't know English. English.
What are you doing here?
I didn't do anything. I'm in Hongdae. Didn't do anything.
Stop recording.
You what? It's on black. What?
No.
I can put on my face.
No.
My face.
No.
My face?
Stop. Insulting anything. Anybody.
I never insulted anybody.
We saw that.
Saw what?
We saw that.
Saw what?
On your YouTube.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
What's serious?
Very serious.
What is very serious?
Hey.
No, I can't show my face.
$5.
I go jail. Let's go jail. I go jail. Arrest. Jail. I go jail. Hear me. This is my protection.
Hey. This is Korea.
I understand. It's on video.
You speak Korean.
No, I don't.
Now go back to your country.
I can go whenever I want. I have freedom. I'm an American citizen. I have visa 90 days.
Well, that statement aged extremely poorly, as he's now had his passport taken away from him.
Can you tell me? Go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. That's okay.
What I do? No, you need to tell me what I do.
Go.
What I do. Taka.
Don't yelling to people.
I never yelled to nobody.
It's all.
That should have been the biggest wake-up call, that they're currently monitoring everything he's doing. But instead, his want for attention is just too great for him. He just can't resist it, so he just keeps on streaming. And this is around the time these Korean online communities start putting a bounty for finding this guy. At one point, they reportedly raised over 10 million won, which is over $7 grand in freedom money, for whoever that could knock him out. So people essentially started showing up while he was out streaming to tell the world where he was and to report him to the police.
Crazy. Hi. Hello. Huh? Me? Who are you? Yo, back up. Yo, what's up? Who are you?
Whoa.
What's up? Who are you? What you want?
What are you doing?
Yo, who are you? You're on camera.
I talk to you.
Police will come.
Because.
Police will come.
What are you doing? Turn on.
No.
Turn on.
No.
What? No. I ain't gonna lie.
What? This one?
This nigga's like.
Bro, you're a stalker. What do you want? No, talk to my friend. Talk. No, talk. No. Passport. Passport for what? Passport. Talk over here. Right here. Relax. I'm right here. Chill out. No, I'm not. Talk to my Korean friend. Korean. Translate. I will give you, but translate. Bro, these are pretty. Why don't you take his passport? Take his ID. Take his ID. Take his ID. My God, what is the problem? Dancer, oh my God, they're recording it. This is crazy.
So clearly, they're building a case on him as more and more of the police are becoming aware of this guy. But he was let go yet again. Unfortunately for him, all the commotion basically announced exactly where he was. So, the people who were hunting him for sport knew exactly where he was, and not too long after this interaction, he was sucker punched by a random dude.
We're gonna have trust me.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great night.
Go to Johnny's here, we're gonna have a good time.
This guy has the most unfortunate things that happen to him right before he gets knocked out. In Japan, he was knocked out to the Mario coin sound effect, and his last words here were, "We're gonna have a great night," but then gets immediately obliterated. But hey, they then start chasing this guy.
Bring your ass back here, boy. The fuck is your problem?
It's on camera. It's on camera. It's on camera.
Four eyes, big ass, keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking.
It's on camera. You better get your phone. Yo, give him his phone. Give him his phone. Give him his phone.
Right. Okay, so to give you guys some context on why the Korean people are also upset with Gino is, one, he's Johnny's accomplice. Two, he had a viral clip where he was verbally harassing a bunch of Korean women for his own content.
Damn, you look so mad. Emo. You, bitch. You got an attitude. What's wrong with you? Why you starting shit for? You. I ain't even got no problems with you. Yeah, move along. Move along, dirty emo bitch. Get the fuck out of here, you stink ass pussy. Your pussy look like roast beef. Stink ass sashimi pussy bitch. Get the fuck out of here. And then I point the camera at her face and then she got mad. Oh, you, there she goes, the dumbest emo bitch. Something like that. Oh, you better move along, bitch. Fuck you. You stink pussy, sashimi pussy. I bet your pussy smell like fish. It stinks.
Yeah, these guys are parasites, and they deserve everything that's coming for them. But these guys weren't also expecting this kind of reaction, because that's why they go to Japan and Korea. Because it seems like their goal is to exploit how nice the people are there. So you can see a clear shift in their behavior when they start to realize, oh, we're actually being hunted. Because only 2 days later, this happens to them again.
Out of your face.
어이 새끼 내병동 장애 있나 봐.
What's up?
때렸다.
So the disrespectful streamer, Johnny, he then called the police on the guys who attacked him. But instead, the police interrogated, searched, and drug tested him. And unfortunately for Johnny, he allegedly tested positive for THC. Here in the US, that is literally no big deal at all, because it's recreational in most states. But in Korea, that's bad news, as they have a zero drug policy like many other Asian countries. So I get that he's not bright, but you have to be a serious moron for him to essentially taunt the police for a living, but also smoke pot in a country that will throw you in prison for 5 years over it. Who in their right mind would ever do that? Like, you would think it would be in your best interest to minimize the ways they could ruin your life, but apparently not, because he doesn't care. He just wants to crash out in the most entertaining way possible for his viewers, because that's how he makes money. And to add salt to his wounds, YouTube banned him on both of his channels. So now he's banned on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, leaving him with Rumble until they ban him over there as well. It's just baffling how dumb and naive you can act. And then to add to that, because he is really going for the Hall of Fame of morons here, he apparently deepfaked videos of himself and a popular Korean creator making out, also allegedly claiming that she is his girlfriend, which is also illegal in Korea and can be penalized with up to 7 years in prison for the deepfaking incident. But on top of that, she's also suing him for this as well, allegedly. So now you also have Korean state media reporting on his antics as well.
Johnny Somali came to Korea with the obvious intention of making clickbait videos to promote his provocative channel. However, the table seems to have turned, as he is now being used to help Korean online streamers generate views. After videos of Koreans, including one streamer, assaulting Somali went viral, many Korean YouTubers are seeking out the American in the hopes of causing an altercation so they can either stream or even incite the scuffle. Within South Korea, Johnny Somali is known as a golden goblin, a gamer reference to a creature whose perk is when you kill them you get rewards and loot. While many here think that confronting Somali and exacting retribution is karma and can be seen as dispensing justice, others are questioning whether it is right for people to take matters into their own hands on behalf of local police for failing to deal with Somali's anti-social.
Yeah, because like the thing is, you really want the police to deal with this because you don't want to crash out or ruin your own life based on a moron. Like, he's not worth that. You just want the police to handle it. Obviously, it makes for entertaining content, but still, he's not worth ruining your life over.
Behavior. Amidst this moral debate, a new report regarding Somali has generated attention. During one of his live streams, Somali,
Right, there you have this as well.
a YouTuber, claiming she is his girlfriend. However, some viewers raised questions that the
Idiot.
look unnatural and speculated that it was created using deepfake AI. Such suspicions seem to have been justified when the original video of the female streamer had no kissing scenes. Angered viewers informed the female YouTuber to sue Somali, and supposedly she will take legal action against the American.
I just talked to the police officers, checked the news, and asked me if I was the person in Johnny's videos. They said they will move forward with the case as soon as possible. Oh, he is actually cooked.
Under South Korea's sexual violence protection law, a person who makes and or disseminates AI and deepfake videos can face upwards of up to 7 years in prison or be fined $36,000. With Somali now banned from leaving Korea and with charges leveled against the American, the future of the infamous prankster seems uncertain, and he may be thinking to himself that this time he bit off more than he could chew.
What a Hall of Fame moron. Will he go down as the dumbest streamer ever? Probably. So, with all of this going down, what did Johnny and his viewers try to do to avoid consequences? Well, they made this plot to flee the country.
Do not fly out of fucking Seoul, okay? If you're going to leave, take a cab from your hotel, literally.
Dude, you're already on a list. Like, there's no way out.
Go somewhere out of the city to, like, a train area. Then take the train to either Jeju or Busan. And catch a flight out of there where nobody knows.
Surely catching a cab straight to like the international airport would be pretty safe. Like I can't imagine what do you think's gonna happen there?
I don't think no way at Incheon, no one's gonna attack you at the airport. No,
dude, man.
No, the police will just not let you leave.
I would catch it then if you're gonna leave out of Incheon, but definitely catch a cab, bro. Don't get on the fucking train.
The train or the bus. No, definitely not.
Call like an Uber or a cab. Yeah, and then once you get to take an evening flight. Take a flight that leaves late.
At 11 p.m. some shit like that. Midnight, 1 a.m.
Yep, where nobody's gonna know. And then what you do is you go live when you get to a new country.
You have to go through border control. They're going to stop you. They're investigating you. Like, what? Unfortunately for him, like, Korea is a peninsula. Like, the only way out is going through North Korea. That's not really the place you want to go to. Oh, man. So this guy was saying, like, hey, you should go to what? Oh, Jeju? Wait, can you even take the train? That's an island, huh? Wait a second. Train from Seoul to Jeju. Yeah, no, there's no train that goes to Jeju. He would have to take a ferry. But still, there's no way he's gonna get onto a ferry undetected. Like, he's not gonna sneak onto it Metal Gear Solid style in a box. Dude, he is cooked here.
And then rinse and repeat. But do not, like, I would get the fuck out of this.
There's no clout more to get in Korea. Like, it's over. Like, it's peak. Like, the only thing I can do is like go and do do a terrorist attack. Like, there's no way to get more from here.
Just about.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I mean, you can't say a dumber statement.
Stream today because you can just drag it on for like 5 hours. Like, just get
fit in my room.
Yeah. Just get
my desktop stream. I guess I've never done it before. I've never really done that, but yeah.
But just like
bro, it's a little too late for the desktop streams.
But I guess like YouTube, you don't want to lose your channel either, so you can't be like too.
That's gone.
Yeah, I guess, but.
I might show some of those comfort woman memes. I'll show some of those comfort woman memes they put in this Discord. I'll write Joel's someone needs to DM me Joel's address in the DM.
Well, you get banned for doxing on like cancel address. I don't think so. No.
Yeah, you will get banned for doxing.
Dude,
address.
It's baffling you didn't even know that. Good job, dude. What is slightly entertaining to hear is the defeat in his voice. There's nothing more he can do that will actually benefit him more than hurt him, which is exactly how it's supposed to be for this type of streamer. You shouldn't be able to harass and use random people on the street for your own content for profit. It's just a low-life way of making a living, because not only is he being a net negative to society, but he's also inspiring other dumbasses to go be like him. But while they're plotting to leave, the Korean internet community is still hunting him for sport.
Johnny, 어딨어?
And this prompted Johnny to make a response video to this.
Hello, the Korean public, the Korean people, everybody chan, let's drink real quick, chan. And as you can see, yes, I am still in Korea. As you can see, the Hanguk. I love Korea, and try to find me. I dare you. You never will. So good luck. That's all I want to say to you guys. And I need to address the Korean media. I want to address JTBC News for defamation against me. Today, JTBC News said that I was guilty of 2 different assault cases. That is not true. I love the Korean police. I respect the Korean police. They've treated me very greatly, and I am complying and working with the Korean police in whatever investigations they have.
Yeah, he's not guilty yet. He's being investigated for all these charges. So at least he is right there. But him saying, oh, come find me, that aged extremely poorly.
I am not guilty of assault. Yoon Soo-woo, I love you. I love you. I love you. Chan. You guys only saw me dancing with the statue. And honestly, if I could take it back, I won't. How about that? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. If you want me to apologize and bow down on my knees and apologize,
This is gonna go so poorly for him in court.
You're gonna kill me? You're gonna kill me for dancing with a metal and bronze statue? Get over it. That's what I need to say. You think I'm gonna sit here and make a fake apology? And if you think I'm gonna sit here and like cry about it and make a nonsense.
This dude is literally his own worst nightmare. Like, he just made everything so much easier for prosecutors to really put their foot down on him. Oh man, dude. But yeah, you know his statement of, yeah, try to find me? Well, they found him in less than 24 hours in the most Andrew Tate possible way, because they used a pizza box to find him. Because apparently there was only one 24-hour pizza place that was open around the area that he was. And honestly, I'm extremely impressed with how quickly they found this guy. I mean, just watching this whole situation, you're just like, yeah, this is just the biggest reminder to just treat everyone with respect. And you won't get the Johnny Somali treatment in Korea. It's fairly easy to just walk around and treat people as you want to be treated yourself. He doesn't get that though. But as I said, he was found very quickly and got knocked out again. I mean, he still has the bandage on his eye from the first time he got knocked out after this. Huh? 어디가? Don't touch my shoe. 어디가? Don't touch me, nigga. Huh? Huh? 소만이 어디가? Yes, sir. 어디 가냐고. You guys following me crazy? 어디가? 어디가? What you mean? 어디가? 어디가? What is 어디가? Oh. Yo, Oh, he did that right in front of a bunch of police officers. So here's the aftermath of that situation. So he was knocked to the ground.
My hat.
Oh yeah, he's really dizzy from this.
No. 핸드폰이에요? 네? 이거 여기다. 이거요. 보일 거예요?
So remember that guy, because the guy that knocked him out becomes slightly important later on. Because apparently he's a streamer and content creator in Korea, also a veteran. And the Korean community also hailed him out and put him in a 5-star hotel for his service that he just did for his country. But just to make things even worse for him, remember the 7-Eleven incident?
You're saying you should never have been stopped.
He's now being charged for obstruction of business for that stunt. So Gino, who many of you guys remember as the person who snitched on him in Japan, he fled the country and is now safe back in Arizona, where both of these guys are originally from. A bunch of Korean streamers also had a press conference where they all filed police reports against Johnny, and some of them also sued him. So as of the 2nd of November, the most recent charges that are filed against him: convenience store obstruction, urine tested positive for THC, investigation underway for assault, and then you have the deepfakes, etc. And then it goes on to say if found guilty for the drug charges, a maximum sentence is 10 years. He's also on Discord, so he hasn't been officially arrested yet as of the 2nd of November. I'm not sure if that's the case right now or not, but his passport has been taken away, and he was banned from leaving the country. As of the 5th of November, they removed his passport, from what I can tell. YouTube has apparently suspended 3 of his channels, and the National Assembly of Korea are now monitoring the situation.
So he's now facing 5 years for the THC, 7 years for obstructing the business, and 7 years for the deepfake incident. And then you also have that potential assault charge that could also add 10 years in prison. And that is if he's that unlucky. But as of now, I haven't seen any elaboration for what exactly he did to get that charge. But since all these charges could stack, worst case, he could actually look up to 29 years in prison for being a complete moron. And since I recorded all of this, he's now came out with this super sarcastic apology that was also aired on Korean news. So I loaded up the AI translation tool so we can at least get the gist of what is going on, even though it's pretty botched. Let's see how this came out.
Somali, a YouTuber who has garnered a lot of attention for insulting the Girl of Peace statue, suddenly appeared at the statue in Dobongu, Seoul. Somali, who was accompanied by another YouTuber, did as he was told and
Why did the AI make his voice sound like that?
apologized in Korean, bowing his head.
I am Jamal. Sorry.
It's so botched.
Somali hasn't been seen since he was assaulted for the third time on the XXX of last month, and was reportedly persuaded by fellow YouTubers to apologize. Somali appeared to be nervous, a change from his previous live streams. The YouTuber who had punched him last time was also present, and Somali asked him if they were having a conversation or fighting again, and after being told that they weren't, he continued. Somali said he didn't know about the significance of the girl statue.
That's BS.
To apologize to the Korean. He said he did it.
It's very intentional why he decided to do this with
Christina, are you still here,
There is
girl?
no way I believe that he accidentally did this to multiple different Comfort Lady statues without knowing the meaning of it. He found the statue on purpose. He like hunted down these statues on his own streams, and when some of them were walled off, he was like, oh,
Do I have any
gotta
mods
find
here?
another one. He knew exactly what he was doing.
He did it to entertain his American viewers, and only realized he had offended them after seeing their reactions.
Right, yeah. This is not gonna help him in court either.
He was just trying to create entertaining content. Not to cause pain, not to get someone in trouble. Jail or cause an assault, he added. As for Somali, he was suspended from leaving the country by police on suspicion of disruption. When confronted with a situation that turned out to be more serious than he intended, Somali apologized. Somali was caught on camera sticking his tongue out and making a V with his fingers in the car on the way home, sparking controversy over whether he was sincere.
Exactly. He doesn't care.
Apologizing when things get out of hand, as he has done in previous countries.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. I mean, this guy's whole game is essentially, how much can I ruin my own life? That's essentially what he's playing right now. But from what I can tell, this apology was arranged by a Korean influencer by the name of Vivian and her boyfriend, who is a black dude living in Korea. This is relevant because they are apparently frustrated with Johnny because they believe his behavior and actions ruin the perception of black people in Korea. And this is apparently why they arranged this apology, to try and fix that. But I guess they're not familiar enough with Johnny because they didn't think he wouldn't lie and make a joke out of the entire situation like he does with every other situation. Obviously, this whole arrangement seems to have backfired on both them.
Oh my
and
god, my
also
feet
Johnny,
hurt.
because this
They're
won't
like
help him in court
numb.
either.
One of
Overall,
them
I mean, this
is, at
story
least.
is just, it's so complicated.
What's up,
to cover
Eisen?
because
How
the
are
main
you?
news sources are either in Korean or Japanese, and clearly I'm heavily relying on translation tools to get the accurate information. So to reiterate, he hasn't been charged with anything yet. He's just facing a whole plethora of charges. But obviously he is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, even though he live streamed himself doing most of the things he's charged for. The only thing that I couldn't really find
That's
more details
insane.
on is the alleged assault charge. But the dude just proves over and over again that he will not stop until he actually receives some sort of repercussions for his own actions. So will Korea follow through with that? Who knows? I guess only time will tell, but we will be here to cover it. Okay, so after that recording, I did end up finding the original recording of this apology, which is in English, which makes things infinitely easier for us to understand. So let's take a look at that here.
앵크 고마워. 때리러 온 게 아니고 진짜 잘했어. 소말리 우리 그냥 토킹 오케이?
Yeah, we can talk. We don't need to fight.
No fight.
From America, we really don't know.
Okay, sorry,
much
guys.
about the Women, or much about the statue, where we're from. So when I saw this statue, I came upon it on my stream. At first, I really didn't know what it was. Get anybody in trouble, or make anybody go to jail, or catch assault cases, or stuff like this. You know what I mean? Because that's when it's going too far. Yeah. Truly, it's a hurtful thing. It's something that hurts the Korean pride and the Korean culture. In America, we have a different kind of comedy. We have a different kind of culture in America, and
You wouldn't do that stuff here either, though.
where this kind of behavior is not acceptable. So let's do it. Yes. Okay. I'm open to it.
Can you guys tell me a little bit more of the history of the statue? Because I haven't done too much research. Yeah.
Okay, you got it.
He knows exactly what it is and what it's for.
Killing and assault is too far.
Right.
But I do see where they're coming from, and I see how it hurt them as a country and it hurt their pride. And it wasn't my intention when I first came here. You know, I wanted to come here. When I first came to South Korea, I'm not gonna lie, I have like a lot of my other content before the statue incident has been great. All the Koreans have treated me great. Like I've had nights out drinking with Koreans, partying with Koreans, and they've showed me the utmost hospitality and respect.